Practice, dedication, determination, and teamwork mold champions. Teams use these qualities for the ultimate goal. A champion will be crowned next on Fox Sports Net.
Inside the Pontiac Silverdome today as parents, classmates, and fans from Schoolcraft and Whittemore-Prescott file in, hoping to cheer on their respective team to the Division VI State Championship. Fox Sports Net proudly presents the Michigan High School Football State Championship, the Eagles of Schoolcraft against the Cardinals from Whittemore-Prescott. And how are you, everybody? You know, you don't get to the butt heads in a state championship game without having good balance and good athletes on both sides of the ball. But as we welcome in my partner, former Lions tight end Rob Rubik, both teams have this, Rob, but when you look at Whittemore-Prescott, you can't help but get goo-goo-eyed about their offense and their quarterback, Travis Harrison, can you?
We're in here for a treat today, Matt, because you're going to have two offenses in Division VI that are going to put the ball in the air. Number one, Whittemore-Prescott with Travis Harrison. This is a young man that is a wonderful leader. He's also well-respected and liked by his teammates, but first and foremost, he can distribute the ball and get it down the field into the people's hands that can make plays.
All right, he is the reason they are here. Schoolcraft, I think, is here because of that suffocating defense. But again, you look at the quarterback, Zach Rakowski. He stole headlines because of all the records he set this year.
Well, you have two quarterbacks that really mirror each other here this afternoon. Zach Rakowski also put up some tremendous numbers. A lot of the same attributes, a good leader, but also tremendously strong arm and wonderful raw materials. So these are two young men today that can make things happen.
You talked about leadership. We have a leader on our broadcast crew. Trevor Thompson now joins us from the field. Trev?
Hey, thanks, Matt. You guys touched on how good these offenses are, but it's the defenses that should get a lot of the credit for the success these two teams have had this season. Combined, they've pitched a total of 12 shutouts this year. Schoolcraft had 5, while Whittemore-Prescott had 7, including an impressive 51-0 shellacking of Clare in the semifinal. So they say that defense wins championships. We'll see which defense is best today here at the Division VI final.
All right, Trev, thanks. Can't forget about special teams. That's a third of the game, and this is a fourth part of the game. The fans, they're out in full force. Everyone gets their shot at the ultimate prize when we come back to the Dome after this. The MHSAA Finals on Fox Sports Net are proudly brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable, and by Little Caesars. Back inside the Pontiac Silverdome, it is the third of 4 games for you here at the Pontiac Silverdome today on Fox Sports Net. Kyle Tobin is your head coach for Whittemore-Prescott. Averages of better than 9 wins per season. Meanwhile, Larry Ledlow in his 19th season, 172 wins in his career, 2 state championships back in '88 and '89. And Ledlow's club will kick off deep to Whittemore-Prescott. Prescott has Brad Reed and Clint Miller back deep to take the kick from Chad Schwabauer. A little squirter for Brad Reed, and he'll be down right there at the 22-yard line. Reed a little frustrated, had a couple of touchdowns returned on kickoffs this year. There's Travis Harrison, a 4-to-1 ratio, touchdowns to interceptions, more than 1,500 yards. He is your classic drop-back passer. And he and the Cardinals moving left to right, 13-0 on the season, 12-0 rather, out of the independent conference. And the first half is where they excel most. The deep handoff and a pretty good defensive play as well. The handoff going to Clint Miller. Miller and Josh Bell share the load in the backfield. Scott Berriger, the #1 receiver for this football team. Brad Reed averages 31 yards per catch at the flanker position. The offensive line averages 230 pounds. Luke Papple, the left guard, is a first-team All-Stater. They give Miller a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 on the opening drive for Whittemore-Prescott. The deep handoff again to Miller, left side. but a flag on the play. That will be a first down if it stands tall. Bring it back.
We're getting a nice wide view here. You're going to see a holding. If you look inside here, he just kind of tackles him. 77 is going to get a good grip, and he doesn't let go. And that's going to be called every single time. You get a nice tight view inside like that.
We got holding on the offense.
Holding on the right tackle, Eric Tunney, who started the year on the junior varsity squad. Let's look at the defense for Schoolcraft, a defensive line that averages just under 200 pounds. Bob Shook and Rob Thomas are the big fellas down low. Linebackers, Drew Hamilton, the leading tackler. He's an all-state selection. And Pat McCullough leads this team with 6 picks on the year. Out of the split backfield, a second down at 16. Staring at the Cardinals, first time they put it up in the air. Complete, but not a whole lot there for Scott Berrigan.
Well, we're seeing what Whittemore really wants to do early in this game, and that's try to get some matchups, one-on-one matchups. Scott Berrigan, the two-way player, does a nice job. What Travis Harrison's going to do, Berrigan's going on just a couple steps. He's got one-on-one coverage. They split him out wide. They like the matchup, and they like the positioning on the field, giving him a lot of space to work. Right here, Harrison does a nice job. Steps, delivers the ball with a lot of authority, and that's the most important part in a quick hitch, is get the ball there as quickly as possible.
Third down and 7. Inside handoff to Reed. Left side, first down and more. Close to midfield. Brad Reed had 15 rushes for 150 yards on the year. First down of the football game, a pickup of 17. And the Cardinals are in business.
Okay, you're going to look right here. They're going to run an inside counter back underneath after they fake the dive here. And that's what's going to happen here. And they're going to run the ball underneath. They dive the back. They come off tackle. And he finds a nice job, a nice hole, and well executed.
Well, he ran right along the line you drew, too, Rob. Very good. Good direction. He must be good in the car. This time it's Miller trying to break it to the outside. Good job by Schoolcraft to string it out a little bit. The tackle made by Drew Hamilton, who averages 15 tackles per game.
Well, right now you're seeing Whittemore making Schoolcraft defend the entire field. They've gone inside, they've gone outside with the quick passing game. They run the counter back underneath. Now they're coming back to the right. And they're showing a lot of different formations and trying to spread Schoolcraft out. And don't be surprised, once you get them spread out, that they just start hitting you back inside with a little trap and inside action.
No gain, second down and 10. Opening drive for the Whittemore-Prescott Cardinals, who average 44 points per game. Out of the split eye, Harrison wants to throw. Going down for Reed. Had to readjust in midair. Couldn't come up with it. The coverage by Kyle Tremblay.
Whittemore-Prescott is doing exactly what they want. Coach Tobin is getting matchup. That time he had man-to-man across the field. And he's throwing the ball down the field. What Harrison does is he's going to give the receiver an opportunity, Brad Reed, to make the play. Brad gets his hands on it, he can't quite get it. But more importantly, is they're getting a feel for right now, Matt, what Schoolcraft's doing defensively. A lot of people inside, man-to-man outside. If they continue to do that and not get pressure, it could be a long day for the Eagles.
Cards mixing it up nice. Usually during the season, 60-40 in favor of the run. They've run the ball as much as they've passed it so far here this afternoon. On a third down and 10. Deep drop, setting up the screen. Schoolcraft had it sniffed out. A loss of 4, a punting situation for the Cardinals. Great play by Drew Hamilton.
Well, if you're going to run a screen, you better hope the linebacker doesn't get there. And this time, Drew Hamilton does. You're going to get a look right here. To the left of your screen, Drew Hamilton, who's man-to-man on the back. And when Miller leaks out, Hamilton sees him. He knifes underneath the block. When you can do that, you get penetration, Matt, and get in there. You're going to see Harrison deliver the ball. That breaks the screen down. Drew Hamilton doesn't wait for the blocker. He's proactive, gets in there. Big play for the Eagles.
Hey, Hamilton shed the block of Mark Doldridge as well. Reed was forced to kick it. Little squibber. Schoolcraft will have very good field position for their first offensive possession.
I think Brad Reed must have watched the first game today, the Class 8 or the Division 8 game with Crystal Falls. Their punter, every time the ball never got about 15, 20 feet, higher than the bottom of the dome. And what that does, though, when you're in an AstroTurf surface like this, you're punting low, keeping it away from the return man, and hoping for the roll.
The Eagles average 32 points per game, 170 plus on the ground, 130 through the air. Talked about Zach Rutkowski, over 1,700 yards throwing this season with 26 scores and just 5 picks. Out of a split backfield for Schoolcraft, their first offensive possession. Cardinals have 7 shutouts on D. Fires it to the far side and it's skipped there. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Rutkowski was 13 of 23. For 258 yards and 5 scores against Livonia Clarenceville in the semis, a 48-30 winner for this Eagles club. And you see a team player. That's what they love most about their captain. Of course, Harrison and his coach, Kyle Tobin, going over the game plan next time they get the football. Out of the I formation. Another throw, this time a delayed hand or fake. Far side wide open. First down, up the far sideline. Dan Fletcher, his favorite receiver, and a first down for the Eagles. Pickup of 13.
Well, there's a lot of different types of play action. Usually you're going to see play action on a dive. This time it's play action off the draw. They fake the handoff. Rutkowski drops back, and he's able to find Fletcher down the field. And that little bit of the fake on the draw, you're going to see right here. Nice fake, sells it. And by faking, that's going to hold the linebacker and not let him get into the flat. And it allows Fletcher time to run the out route, well executed by the Eagles.
Yeah, beautiful sell. 1st and 10, ball on the 45-yard line of the Cardinals. Balanced backfield. The pitch. Near side. Boy, great defense there. Mike Melching, the ball carrier. Scott Berriger, the tackle. -2 on the play.
Well, we're going to look right here. Scott Berriger, number 9. He does a great job of getting quick read into the outside. And once he gets out there, he shows the speed and why he's a tremendous player. He fills. It also gets a little bit of his help from his teammate taking on the leading guard. But Berriger goes coast to coast. He's kind of like AT&T, Matt. He's going to cover the entire field.
Berriger, one of the many studs on this Cardinals defense, forcing a 2nd down and 14 situation for the Eagles. Fake toss. He wants it all. Far side. Just off the fingertips. And a nice defensive play, too, by Clint Miller. Let's look at this Eagles offense. Here's the backfield. Thomas and Melching, the workhorses. Fletcher, the favorite receiver. An offensive line that averages 195 pounds. Sean McGough and Rory McGough are brothers at the center and right guard position. 3rd down and 14. Looking for big chunk yardage for the Eagles. Passing situation for Schoolcraft. Fake toss. Over the middle. Too high. Well, they got some things open there, Rob. There's no question about it. Dan Fletcher isn't that tall. Only 5'10", 170. Rutkowski would like to have that one back because that had 1st down written all over.
Yeah, they did. He had a tight end coming open down the middle of the field, and that was because they took the back, leaked him into the flat, which had the linebacker widen for just a minute, which opens up that soft middle. Rutkowski just overthrew it a little bit. But let's give Whittemore-Prescott some kudos here, too. Nice job on some man-to-man coverage and running with some people. This is excellent, Matt. We got Division 6 game, and the ball's flying around.
Devin Clements will kick it away. Brad Reed back deep to receive it. Inside his own 15. And he won't go anywhere. Great special teams coverage by Schoolcraft. Neither club able to draw any blood on their first possession. Schoolcraft had some openings, but it's the tough defense of Whittemore-Prescott that set the stage. We're scoreless with 7:20 left to go in the first. For state title excitement with all 4 classes of the girls basketball finals from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Coverage begins next Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive television home for MHSAA football and basketball championship. Of course, we have the boys basketball state championships right here on Fox Sports Net as well. All right, second opportunity for Whittemore-Prescott's offense, an offense that finished the regular season with 4 straight wins and outscoring their opposition 185-0, and they open up on the air. Berger with another catch on the far sideline. They like to work the open side of the field, Rob, a pickup of 7.
And let's talk a little bit about Coach Ledlow and the confidence that he has in his defensive backs with McCullough, Fletcher, and Tremblay, because they're going man-to-man with 7-8 people in the box against the run with 3 wideouts. They just have 3 people out there now. Each one of those gentlemen are left on an island. If they don't make the play on the receiver, they're going to go 80 yards. So you have a lot of confidence in your secondary people when you do that.
Ledlow says that not always does the best team win. The club that makes the best plays wins, and he's hoping his defense can step up here this afternoon. Cardinals on the ground. Miller up the middle, a first down, and more. A pickup of 5. Move the chains for the Cardinals. Miller with 14 touchdowns on the year. He averaged 7.5 yards per carry. And that helps a quarterback like Travis Harrison.
First and 10, Cardinals.
You like the balance that this Cardinal team possesses. 142 yards per game through the air, 141 on the ground.
Well, this is by far the most balanced team Coach Tobin has brought to the Dome. This is his 3rd trip, but he feels that he can hit you on all cylinders from all directions with this club.
Says it's the best team he's ever had. First and 10 for the Cardinals. Long way to go, with a lot of weapons like Miller. Trying the far side, stuffed up nicely. Boy, Drew Hamilton's all over the football field already.
Well, Drew Hamilton, the linebacker, one of the outstanding players on the Eagle defense so far, as you said, Matt, has been everywhere. You're going to look right here at him. He's going to flow very well. Doesn't allow the blocker to get out onto him in one-on-one in space. Sometimes you like your chances offensively with a running back against a linebacker. That time you don't like your chance because Drew Hamilton is all over it, trying to get a little shake and bake. Drew doesn't buy. Nice open field tackle.
Hamilton 5'9", $190. But moves well laterally. Harrison fires. Caught. And he pushes his way toward the first down yard marker. That's going to Chris Whetstone. First catch of the ball game for Whetstone.
Tackled by Pat McCullough.
We're going to have isolation here right now. Whetstone's right here, and he's just going to run a quick hitch, gets the ball in space. Now, once again, Tobin is doing a nice job of spreading the defense out, getting one-on-one isolation looks with the defense. Harrison delivers the ball, and I like the way Travis just gets there in a hurry, Matt. That gives the receiver more time to get set, catch the ball, and make a move.
Joe Betke is in the backfield on a 3rd down and 2. This is the jumbo package they're using. Didn't work that time, though. Hamilton again in on the tackle, along with Rob Thomas, the defensive end.
Well, you're going to see why this play breaks down, Matt. Right off the bat here, you got the 2 lead backs. They're going to lead through here, but let's see exactly who they block. On the snap of the ball, Berger's going to have the deep eye. He's going to get it. Becky runs through. He doesn't hit anyone. Also, number 45 doesn't hit anyone. When you got people standing around taking pictures of the scene of the crime at the end, they're not blocking anyone, and that's why the play broke down.
Dan Fletcher and Pat McCullough deep to field the punt for Schoolcraft. Brad Reed will give it to him. Good kick. This is Fletcher. Great block. Up the sideline. Has a couple guys to beat. Tries to the inside, but he'll put Schoolcraft in great field position. Brad Reed knocked him down, but not before Pat McCullough had a pickup of 37.
Right here as McCullough catches the ball, he does a nice job, picks up a great block, now shows some speed. Once he gets down the sidelines, nothing fancy, turn on the jets, get all you can. Great return, and this is kind of backfiring on Whittemore. They felt they had the edge coming in the special teams. So far, they haven't.
On a 1st down and 10, the best field position for either club. Up front, handoff to Rob Thomas.
Number 40, Rob
Give a couple.
Thomas, the ball carrier for the
You know, Matt,
Eagles.
I can't speak for you, but I'm getting a lot more bang for my buck than I thought I would coming into this game. And you talk to the coaches, and a lot of times when you interview them and talk to, oh yeah, we're going to throw a lot, we do this, we do that. Then you get to the game and it's run, and pass on 3rd. Well, we're not seeing that today. We're seeing some creative offensive calling by Coach Ledlow and Coach Tobin. And I think we're in for a great game here the rest of the afternoon.
Sure looks that way. Rutkowski on a 2nd down and 8. Fake toss, fires over the middle. Good defensive play. Schoolcraft is all over it on the defensive side of the ball. Scott Taylor on the coverage. Otherwise, Scott Berger has himself a pretty good-sized pickup.
Well, nice job by Whittemore on the coverage, as you said. Tight end coming man-to-man, and you have to be disciplined defensively. You can't go for that fake pitch. You can't go for the fake handoffs underneath. You have to do your responsibility. His responsibility was a tight end. He didn't bite on the fakes. He played the man. He was there to make the defensive play.
Berger with a defensive play. Scott Taylor otherwise. They have it better than the 3rd and 8 that they're staring at right now out of the I formation. Witkowski. Play action. Fires. In and out. And another play made by Brad Reed.
We're going to get
defensive backs are really getting the job done, aren't they?
And Brad Reed, we're going to get the end zone right here off the bat. Witkowski, once again earlier, off the fake draw action on the play action, looking to get the ball down the middle. Brad Reed times it perfectly, delivers the blow, knocks the ball down, incomplete pass. What a huge play by Brad Reed. Whittemore's doing a nice job. That's about 3 that Witkowski's put right on the money, but defensively, they're there at the same time.
That time it was Rob Thomas out of the backfield who sits lonely behind Witkowski on a 4th down and 8. Too far away for the field goal, too close for the punt. They'll go for it. 4 wide receivers set. Got him! In the corner! Sniffs the goal line and is pushed out at the 1. Dan Fletcher with his 2nd catch of the ball game, pushed out at the 1-yard line by Brad Reed, but Schoolcraft is knocking on the door after the pickup of 25.
Schoolcraft comes out a new formation they haven't shown. They come out with trip receivers or 3 to one side. Now right here you're going to see the tight view of you can see Witkowski drop back. He's going to look outside because the inside receiver is going to run the out. The 2 outside guys are going to come in. Right there, and the ball is well delivered. Actually, it was defensed pretty well by Whittemore, but he just couldn't get a hand on it.
Fletcher 2 grabs for 38. They push him out at the 3. 1st and goal from there. Split backfield. Deep handoff to the 1. Mike Melching, who had 7 touchdowns on the year.
Number 22, Mike Melching.
Denied by Brian Craner.
For the Eagles. Tackle was by number 4, Brian Craner.
Again, the balance comes into play. Let's see what Witkowski and the Eagles can do here. He's got Thomas and Melching. He's got a good big tight end and Scott Taylor. And fleet wide receivers, although there's not a whole lot of room to operate down there. 2nd down and goal. Scoreless with 2.5 to go in the 1st. Full boat backfield. Witkowski up front. Touchdown, Eagles. Rob Thomas hops over for the score. His 14th of the season, and Schoolcraft has drawn first blood.
Great job by the Eagles. What a drive they put together. The big play, obviously, the 4th down conversion on 4th and 8. And we're going to have a nice sideline shot here. Looked like James Stewart yesterday in Turkey Day for the Lions, showing some good hops. Thomas up and over. And when your defensive line is going to submarine or cut the offensive lineman, if the linebacker doesn't fill in the gap, it leaves room for the back to go up and over.
They'll go for 2 here. 3 wide receivers split wide to the right of Witkowski. 5-step drop. And incomplete. They'll take the 6, though. Schoolcraft shows some offensive power of their own against the Cardinals defense, a defense that posted 7 shutouts. Their 8th won't come today. Rob Thomas makes it a 6-0 lead at the Dome on Fox Sports Net. Championship games are a test of will oftentimes. Whittemore-Prescott will be tested here. For just the 2nd time in this season, they trail. They trailed to Ishpeming in the regional, but came back and beat them 51-22, and they only trailed, Rob, for 8 seconds because of the special teams. They got a kickoff return for a score, so that was short-lived. Look at the scoring drive that the Eagles were able to boast. They go just 30 yards. Again, special teams a factor. 6 plays, a little bit more than a buck and a half. Thomas picking up his 14th touchdown on the year, keyed by a 4th down and 8 completion.
And even before that, as you just stated, special teams, what a huge momentum lifter in the game, giving you field position, and then the big 4th down and 8.
Reed and Miller are deep. Miller will scoop it up at the 20. They'll pick up about 12 at the 32-yard line for the Cardinals, their 3rd offensive possession of the evening.
Well, you see a lot of things in high school football that you may not see at other levels, and you're going to look right here. Look at how the ball is teed up. Now, if we were doing that in our backyard as a kid, that would be an automatic penalty. You couldn't do that. The person had to hold it. You couldn't put it on its side like that. There's no way you could catch it. But this is what the dome will do to you. When you start scheming when you come here as a coach, you say, that ball hops, takes funny hops on the AstroTurf. Let's lay it down and kick it like a turkey right in the side and bounce it down the field a little bit.
Whittemore-Prescott, for the second year in a row, is qualified for the playoffs. They're looking for a championship here. They're looking to keep it on the ground with Miller. He busts up the left side. Pretty close to a first down. Give him 7. Second down and short.
Well, Whittemore-Prescott has come out and really stretched the field, throwing a lot of the hitches outside and going deep ones. Now we may see what they probably do best, and that is the running game. A lot of trapping, pulling the off tackle, off guard that time, and running to the weak side. So a nice job by Whittemore. Let's see how long Coach Tobin before he presses the panic. But I know it's 6-0, but to Whittemore it might seem like 40-0.
Miller and Josh Bell in the split backfield. It'll be Bell. First down. Bell is the fullback, 214-pounder, over 200 yards during the season. Averages about 5.5 yards per carry. And Kyle Tobin, who's been there 16 years at that school and has 8 straight winning seasons, is on the downside of a 6-0 score. And hoping his offense can put up some yards and put up some points with 1.5 bucks to go in the first. 3 wide receivers set for the Cardinals, a split backfield behind Travis Harrison. Inside handoff to Miller, his 7th carry of the evening. He won't gain anything. It'll be second down and long, Rob.
Well, they're going back to the running game, and as I said, even though he spread them out early and tried moving the ball out around, sometimes when coaches get behind, their true colors show. And Coach Tobin, his 3rd visit here, the first time with Tom Tyson, the big running back, where they ran it about 50 times during the game, and just hopefully he doesn't get into the panic mode and feel, well, we got to start running the ball. But once again, if you can run it inside, it's going to help you when you start throwing those hitches outside again.
Second down and 9. Ball resting on the 46-yard line of the Cardinals. Deep drop. Harrison, big arm. Big completion to Reed at the 20 and in the red zone. Brad Reed, who averages 31 yards per catch, was smelling out his 12th touchdown. He's held up a little shy, but 43 yards to the good for the Cardinals, and they're back in business. Rob Thomas on the coverage.
Well, a lot of time coaches will blow a little bit of smoke when you're talking to him. He said Travis Harrison has a big-time arm. And right here, you're going to see why. He sets up in the pocket, no pressure at all. Let's get the offensive line. And look at the route. Look at the space Reed has created with the defender getting open on the corner route. A nice job.
Resting on the near side hash. Inside handoff, Reed. Pater. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year. The Cardinals have answered right back. We are deadlocked at 6 with an extra point to come. Whittemore-Prescott's offense outscored the opposition through the regional in the first half, 367-29. They are not used to being down. Now they are looking to go back on top. Scott Berriger, who had 1 point this year, kicked 6 field goals in a game against Ecorse, a state record, is golden on the extra point. Whittemore-Prescott, impressive fashion, bolt down the field. Reed with a touchdown run and a big 43-yard catch.
Well, you can see a little bit of misdirection. You're going to see the wing counter coming back underneath the Brad Reed. A nice job. All the motion goes to the right.
We got
you bring the wing coming back underneath.
Roughing the
Here's
kicker.
another look. The action comes up this way, and they hit him going back against the flow. And that's the first misdirection play that Whittemore's run. Out of that formation, they've given it on the dive every other time. That time they faked the dive, hit the wing on the counter, touchdown. Cardinals, and they're coming back, and once again they didn't trail for too long, Matt, as they did against the Hematites from Ishpeming. So this is a team. I don't think their daubers get down. I think the hair in the back of the neck might stand up a little bit when they get behind.
How impressive with that drive? How about 5 plays, 67 yards, and they chew up just 2 minutes and 2 seconds of the Silverdome clock. And the key play, no question about it, the Harrison to Reed 43-yard completion.
And look at the speed, and he closes the gap on the defender. As a receiver, when you can get in the defender's face before you make your cut, he's flat-footed, he's toast. That time Reed closed the cushion, made his break, wide open, big play for the Cardinals. And I think we're going to just have a phenomenal game here today. You can just sense it, not only the intensity of the teams, the crowds are into it. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm into it.
Hey, let me tell you something, Rob. That's a nice route that he ran, too.
Beautiful.
For Brad Reed. And we talk about the throw, we talk about the protection. How about the spacing that he was able to create?
Exactly. Most high school kids, when they start getting near a receiver or defender, they're going to break it. He closed all the way in his face, snapped it off. Great job.
Got him backpedaling nicely. Let's see what Schoolcraft can do now after they've been backpedaling and now trailing 7-6. The feel-good attitude is gone. Let's see if they can regain it. Nice rundown. Spinning past the 30. Almost broke it again. Mike Melching on the return. A 30-yard return, giving the Eagles good field position again. Boy, if you're talking good field position, both clubs have it. There's Travis Harrison. You have reason to smile, senior quarterback, and so does Mike Melching after a nice return.
He does a nice job of getting into the seam, and now the Russ is on his own. He gets hit once, twice, breaks the tackle, keeps on pulling, and he almost came out of that mess and would have went the other way. Right now, the special teams are being pretty special with the Schoolcraft Eagles.
He held onto the ball nicely, too. First down and 10. Witkowski, deep handoff, Melching again. Wide open field. Splits the D. He could be gone. See ya. Football game, 65 yards. Mike Melching's 8th touchdown of the year, and the Eagles say, we'll take it, but we'll dish it out as well.
Well, Melching right now, he is the recipient. Now look right here. You're going to see a trap block. The left guard pulls right here. He's kicking out. Nice job. Melching gets right on his hip, comes right through the hole. Oh, what a great job. Now we're seeing, what you can't really coach right here, that's called speed, man. Melching turns it on, he splits the defenders, Brad Reed giving chase. Also Miller, no way. Touchdown, what a game. Right now, you better have whoever isn't watching this game at home, get refrigerator, get everything you need, because you don't want to leave your seat, because this is a tremendous game, and it's going to be a track meet, I think.
Folks, we have only played one quarter of football, and after a couple of offensive possessions that saw both clubs stumble a little bit, the Cardinals and Eagles both boast speed and ingenuity on the offensive side. Schoolcraft calls a timeout. They do know this. They're up by 5 right now.
Once again, you get another look here, Melching. And what was really impressive right in the beginning is the defender came across and the guard who pulls able to bury him. Melching, a long strider right here. Some good speed shown by Brian Creener coming down, almost catching him, but not enough. And Melching making 2
enough, is it?
Yeah, and how about that back-to-back plays? This is a guy who just returned
95 yards on the entire drive.
Yeah.
If you want to count the special teams, the kickoff return as part of the drive, which you don't, he has 95 yards, 30 on the kickoff return, 65 yards on the touchdown run.
Yeah, Melching, you hate to say that someone does it by themselves because obviously there's 10 other people on the field. But you watch that kickoff return, he's bouncing around like a pinball inside, getting everything he could out of it. And then Melching breaks through on the long run. Nice trap block, some people, some good deception. But once again, his speed was able to make the play a big play.
Whittemore-Prescott only practiced once this week because of the snow conditions. They practiced in a local golf dome in Saginaw. You wonder if that's coming back to haunt them a little bit. Schoolcraft goes for the 2-point conversion. They're not going to get it. Knocked down and really picked off, if you will, by Whittemore-Prescott's number 95, Chris Whetstone. Schoolcraft drew first blood. Brad Reed had an answer. Mike Melching says I can do that and more. Eagles on top by 5 in the Dome on Fox Sports Net. Mike Melching responsible for over half of Schoolcraft's 104 yards of total offense so far. Whittemore-Prescott has 111, but the Eagles are on top, 12-7 And you look at Kyle Tobin there, the thing that's got to shock him, Rob Rubik, he said his defense and the special teams were the strongest part of his football team. So far, he's been beaten in both areas.
But he's still in the game, too.
Well,
let's not count him out. Yeah, I mean, it's 12-7.
Yeah.
And obviously, as poorly as they played on special teams and defensively giving up a few big plays, it's still a 12-7 game. It puts a little more onus on your offense to crank things up. But I'm still a little curious about Schoolcraft not kicking the extra points. You're seeing right there some time of possessions can be deceiving.
Yeah, very
Only
misleading.
3 minutes for Schoolcraft, yet they have the 12 points. I'm just wondering why they don't kick the extra points. You see that from the Upper Peninsula teams a lot due to the weather. But from a team down in Southwest Michigan like Schoolcraft, I'm a little bit surprised that they're not kicking.
Yeah, that could play a factor. Larry Ledlow is up by 5, but he should be up by a little bit more than that. Should be up by at least 7. A squid kick, and that's going to go out of bounds. That means Whittemore-Prescott will get it at the 35-yard line. How fast does Mike Melching run 64 yards? Unofficial time, 5 seconds. That's with pads. Somebody breathing down his neck. That's not too bad.
That's like usually your high school coaches. They'll have 7 guys in their team that run 4.4.
Got an illegal procedure on the kicking team. Ball will be taken on the 35.
And then they get to the Michigan training camp where they put you on electronic time during the summer, the Michigan summer football camps. All of a sudden they're all 5-1.
There's some of Melching's teammates, the Eagles, who you love it when you see these guys running. Everyone on the sideline is yelling, go, go, and swinging their arm. Rutkowski hasn't had to be spectacular so far. Has fired on 5 of his passes, close to 40 yards through the air, and now he'll watch Travis Harrison and the Cardinals offense take control. Split backfield for the Cardinals. Deep handoff, and Miller's going absolutely nowhere. Nice play by Gene Smith. This 5'11", 240-pound defensive tackle.
Well, if you want to break down a play defensively, you get penetration like you're going to see right here. Gene Smith coming from the left side of your screen, meeting Miller 3 yards in the backfield. And I don't care what you run, you're going to look right here. Great penetration, crabbing inside. I don't care what type of play you run, Matt. If you don't block someone, they get 3 yards deep. When the running back gets the ball, I don't care if you're Barry Sanders, you're not going to do anything.
That's all hard work because the Cardinals' offensive line weighs, on average, more than 30 pounds more than Schoolcraft's D-line. Harrison will throw. Pressure! Down he goes. Now look for a late flag here. Intentional grounding on Travis Harrison. Mike Melching on the blitz. Got to him first. Who else?
Rob Thomas also in there, and you're going to see right here, as you called it, Matt, an intentional grounding, and that is a correct call. You're going to see right here, Travis Harrison, you're going to get great pressure. Here comes Melching on the blitz, 22. Oh, he does a nice underneath move inside to get the pressure, and Harrison going down just throws the ball. And that's sometimes we talk about early in the game, the experience and the maturity of Travis Harrison. That time, that was an ill-advised play, but the official was right there.
Pass, intentional grounding, quarterback. That includes a loss of down.
Harrison now with a whole bunch of yardage staring at him. 3rd down and 14. Ryan Richards, the left tackle, protecting Harrison's blind side. Next time we'll try and get a better hold on Melching without holding. Harrison going deep. Reed's got his man beat, but knocked away nicely by the safety. Boy, a good job. And again, we've called Dan Fletcher's number an awful lot here early on in the defensive backfield.
We're going to look right here. He's going to come, and he's going to give help over the top with his defensive back buddy here. Now look at this. Look at the speed. Right from the get-go, he takes off. There's no other read for him. He's got deep help, gets there, and that's what you look for. You got a safety that can run. Harrison, let's not knock him now. Travis puts the ball right on the money to Reed. But Rob Thomas, along with number 20 that time, Kyle Tremblay, a great job getting to the ball.
3rd punt of the day for Reed. Grabbed it midfield. Oh, and a nice tackle there. Pat McCullough tried to get away, but couldn't. Dan Morley, the sophomore, backup running back and linebacker, did a nice job to close down tight and hold on tight.
And Dan Morley's one of those special people on special teams. Talking to Coach Tobin, he said, who do we watch for on special teams during the game? I was talking to him, he said, Dan Morley, Josh Bell, both were state champions in wrestling this past season. So these, you know, they got the toughness, Matt, the physical toughness and the mental toughness. When you're up on your mat, one-on-one with someone, you don't get help from your teammates. And Dan Morley did a great job that time, showed the strength in his hands. The wrestlers possessed, he was able just to get the jersey and hang on.
Well, you talk about wrestlers. That school, Whittemore-Prescott, won the state championship last year. The entire defensive line were members of it. See what they can do against the Eagles offense. Chalked up 12 points so far. Fake toss. Rutkowski wants to run, but he's grabbed from behind. Nice play by Carl Erickson. State champion medalist in his own right last year.
Well, there's a lot of correlation between football and wrestling. We're seeing that here. Zach Rutkowski dropping back. The fake pitch, it really hasn't fooled anyone. Right here, a nice job releasing inside by Carl Erickson, beating his man. He was blocked for a little bit. When you do that fake pitch, Matt, and then try to throw the ball, it takes a lot of time, puts a lot of pressure on your offensive lineman.
Rutkowski actually picked up one, so it's 2nd down and 9. His club holding on to a 5-point lead. Unable to connect there. Maybe a miscommunication. And late flags flying from the far side of the field.
And they're going to get the big fella here with a late hit, a push, Joe Betke. And you just can't do it. It wasn't that he pushed him so hard, but he just did it, first of all, about 5 seconds late. And the kid took a little bit of the WWF dive. He went rolling back.
Personal foul here. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Ouch. Well, Whittemore-Prescott doesn't need to give the Eagles any more favors. Not when Schoolcraft is already up by 5. Pushed that one close to the 35, officially at the 37.5-yard line of the Cardinals, and Schoolcraft an automatic 1st down and 10. Couple of receivers split wide to the right, and a split backfield, but is only 3 yards behind Rutkowski. Actually, he faked to Melton. Had me fooled. Rob Thomas squirts to the right side and is dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Confidence is one of the biggest factors that determines the outcome of a football game. And right now you're seeing the confidence on the side of the Schoolcraft Eagles just really starting to rise. And you wonder right now, with Whittemore-Prescott, you know, what they're thinking about, what's going through their head. They're trailing 12-7, the clock is running, the game seems quick, and the team is moving it against you. They have never seen this. This is all foreign to them right now.
Tell you what, Rutkowski twice has faked me out. This time I know Thomas has it. Right up the middle, but the big nasties inside, including Adam Cunningham, are there to knock it down, maybe at the line of scrimmage, maybe behind. Cunningham, a 112-pound state champion a year ago.
And Zach Rutkowski did a nice job after he handed the ball to Thomas. He carries his fake out down the line of scrimmage. And that's what you want your quarterbacks to do. That's twofold, Matt. Number one, it makes the defense respect you possibly in that play. It pulls the linebackers out. Number two, if they don't, your coaches will see that. And he's going to fake that and keep it eventually.
Approaching the 9-minute mark of the first half. Schoolcraft on top, 12-7. Rutkowski on a 3rd and 2. Thomas tries with the second effort. He might have lost the football. He did.
I tell you what, usually I feel I have better eyes than my play-by-play guy, but Matt, you absolutely blew my doors off that time because you saw something I didn't see. And that's just all effort on Thomas. This is a young man who's going for the extra yardage, and right there, as he's trying to pull the ball ahead to pick up the 1st down, the ball comes popping on. You're getting a bird's eye view right here, coming at you right into your living room. I think that's number 99, Arndt, who strips the ball. It goes forward. Oh, man. And you know what? If I'm a coach and I watch that film, I pat Rob Thomas on the back. I'm not mad at that young man. That's just effort.
You better believe it.
And they're going to get
another one loose on the carpet. Schoolcraft gets it right back. Boy, you talk about momentum swinging from side to side. We saw it in scoring, and now we see it in turnovers. It is the one thing you cannot account for. Joe Maurer recovered it nicely for the Eagles, giving Schoolcraft the ball right back where they had lost it previously.
Oh, nice job of the Eagles. Quick change, sudden change in football. How does a team adapt to it? How do you react to it? Obviously, Schoolcraft reacts pretty well if they fall on the ball there. So a nice job. They didn't get down. They didn't get depressed. They came out and they played. They made a play, and now they get the ball back.
Dan Cook forced the fumble. The 5'10", 200-pound junior. Now he gives it to his offense. Rutkowski across the middle, just behind his man. Eyeing Pat McCullough again. McCullough has made some big plays offensively and defensively, and on special teams as well.
Well, what you run into, sometimes you do play action as Schoolcraft is doing, you can get away with some things. That time when you're faking the ball to your running backs, the defense, he's getting tackled. They're tackling the tailback. He can't get out into the pattern, but that's perfectly legit. If you're doing any type of play action, the ball fake to him, you can tackle him, and Whittemore is doing that. That limits the number of people in the pattern. They're coming out in the formation with trips to the right. The previous times they run both outside guys in, inside guy out.
Redkowski just 2 of 9 for 39 yards in a passing situation, 2nd down and 10. No one home. Well, Whittemore-Prescott, the defense, is starting to pick up to their billing a little bit, if you will. They had given up only 14 points in the first quarter all year long. Already here tonight in the state championship game, they've given up 12. The Eagles looking for more on a 3rd down and 10. Redkowski now 2 for 10. Maybe struggling just a little bit, but he's been helped out by the running game, and they're 0 for 3 on 3rd down.
I don't think it's as much as Zach is struggling to. He is a little bit, but let's remember, he's had about 4 balls right on the money where Whittemore's made great breaks and knocked it away. He could very easily be 7 for 10 right now. That was just a throwaway.
No, he'll throw here. Makes the pitch. Oh, his man is literally grabbed and hog-tied, melching, tackled, literally tackled by Dan Morley.
And that's what I was talking about a minute ago. When they do the fake to the back, and then they run him down the sidelines. They're trying to run a wheel down the sidelines with him. And that time, Whittemore, you're going to see right here, they faked the pitch to him. Now he wants to come back to him running the wheel. And he is absolutely taken down by Morley. And the officials will give you a little bit of leeway between the tackles off of play action to bring the running back down. In that situation, when you're out there in the flat, you just can't tackle a man when he doesn't have the football. There's certain rules in this game you must follow, and one of them is you can't tackle a guy when he doesn't have the football when you're playing defense. And that time, Whittemore was caught. It's going to be a big penalty.
We got holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty. Was not a pass interference because the ball was thrown from behind the line of scrimmage. Defensive hold.
All right, 2 big penalties against Whittemore-Prescott has allowed Schoolcraft to keep this drive alive with 8:36 left to go in the half.
But let's give credit to the Schoolcraft coaches upstairs, because when they ran that play earlier, my brother Fred pointed out to me, he said, hey, look, they're tackling the tailback on the play fake. That time they came right back with it and knew he was going to work down the sidelines. They had him one-on-one in space. They got a matchup they wanted, the back into the flat against the linebacker, and it paid off. They got a holding call, and it's going to help keep the drive alive.
Redkowski boasting big numbers during the regular campaign. We talked about the number of school records that he set, and it helps to have wide receivers. As a matter of fact, Larry Ledlow, the head coach of Schoolcraft, has said that he thinks these are the best wide receivers he's ever had in his program.
And coach should know, because he's been there a long time, has had a lot of success. I will say this, though, I think this is the little bit different path than he's gotten here before with. He's thrown the ball much more this year than he has in the past, and he admits it, to everyone who talks to him. On the phone, we were yakking a little bit, and he said, and he kind of likes it, Matt, talking about, hey, I'm throwing the ball more, but I also have a quarterback that can do it. And he feels a lot great with Zach Redkowski, and we were looking at Zach's numbers, not phenomenal yet. And like we talked about, he's had a lot of them have been batted away at the same time. He's very accurate.
Yeah, and Redkowski will be the first to tell you, I can care less if I go 2 for 20. We pick up the win. That's all that matters to me. His club's on top by 5 with a 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line, deep in Whittemore territory. Sack. Carl Erickson again. It's 2 big plays he's made on this drive. A loss of nearly 10.
We're going to look here, nice shot. Carl Erickson coming from the right side of your screen is just going to beat his man, does a nice job of getting by him, getting pressure. What Carl did that time is he does a nice job of using his hands. A good close-up of Carl. He's probably as happy as anyone here. Maybe his parents are a little bit more happy. But he did a good job defensively. You want your defensemen, when they come across and engage the offense, use your hands, keep separation, throw them, and that's what Carl did.
Look at all those scuff marks on the lid there. You love to see that from a defensive lineman. Big nasties grunting in the middle. 2nd down and 19. Draw to Melching, nothing doing. Who else? Carl Erickson. I tell you what, he's sniffing it out and taking care of business. 5'11", 181-pound junior, plays a lot bigger than his stature shows.
You're exactly right. What Carl Erickson plays with are two things, quickness and intelligence. You saw them both there. Carl does a nice job. They're not buying into any of the play action fakes that they're seeing. That time they tried to look like they're going to throw the ball down the field. After Rakowski hands off, he carries a fake out. He's delivering the pass like he's throwing a fade. Erickson's not buying pass. He's playing run all the way.
3rd down and 21. See what Schoolcraft has done on the 3rd down set. 0 for 3. Last time they stared at a 3rd down, Whittemore-Prescott helped him out with a penalty. Receivers to the near side of the field. Rakowski going long. Got it! Inside the 5, move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal. Big throw and catch. Zach Rakowski to Dan Fletcher.
Well, we're going to look right here. This is nothing fancy, and this is against double coverage. And we know Zach Rakowski, you can see right here. You're going to see the receiver go down right here. He's going to get a little bit of a wheel route, and look at both defenders are going to come there and try to make the play. But he sold the out move on the wheel. And all the wheel is where you go to the sidelines, you turn it up and run down the sideline, and he makes a play on the ball. You know, via Randy Moss right there. When the ball's in the air, Fletcher felt it was his.
Rakowski with 3 completions, all of them going to Fletcher. That one good for 30. 1st and goal from the 4. Melching, 2nd touchdown of the day. The Eagles now on top, 18-7. Well, they got some help, Rob. But they took care of business on the 3rd down and long, didn't they?
Yeah, they made plays. Like, you're talking about Coach Ledlow, very apropos. He said, you know what? It's not always the best team, but sometimes a team that makes the plays, and you're seeing Schoolcraft do that right now. A nice tight shot from the side. It was close, looked like his knee might have been down a little bit, but the guys in the stripes got a lot better view than we do up here. There's a look at Fletcher there, pulling up his pants. Nice job. And once again, Zach Rakowski, on every one of his incompletions, with the exception of one he throws away out of bounds, are there. His receivers have a chance to get him. The problem is his receivers haven't been that open, and Whittemore's been making plays on it. But I guarantee they're going to have a lot more chances because the way Coach Ledlow's opening this game up, you're going to see a lot more of Fletcher as we go on.
13 times Larry Ledlow's Schoolcraft Club has qualified for the Michigan High School State Championship playoffs. 6th most in the history of the MHSAA. And now his club is on up 18-7 because of this play.
Well, now that is his power football and a great lead block by number 40, Rob Thomas. And actually, they come out in a power eye set. In that situation, Coach Ledlow says, we're not going to try to fool anyone. We're coming out power eye, and we're running lead ISO. And I got my best blocker, Rob Thomas, leading the back into the end zone. He takes on the linebacker. Nice job by Schoolcraft. Coach Ledlow right now is telling his kids, listen, we have 18 points. This is a huge play. This is worth 2. Sometimes people forget. You get 6 for a touchdown, everyone all the hoopla, but you get 1/3 of that, 2, for an extra point. So this is a huge play because right now...
1/3, you're a math major, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good division,
yeah.
right off the top of your head. See, now I'm working that with a calculator, and you got to write down, don't you? They go for 2 for the 3rd time today. 0 for 2 on the 2-point conversions. Rakowski fakes. Give him 2 more. Rob Thomas, who led the way as a blocking back on the touchdown, is rewarded on the receiving end of the 2-point conversion. It's 20-7. Schoolcraft is loving it. Let's see what Whittemore-Prescott can do. They'll have a chance to answer. Mike Melching, 2 scores, and the Eagles lead it by 13 on Fox Sports Net. 7 after a 7-play, 30-yard drive over 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and it helps to get 2 more points on the extra point.
Well, you're going to see something different here. Very rarely do touchdowns set up extra points, but they come on the power I formation on the touchdown and do the same play and score with Thomas leading. This time, they leaked the fullback into the flat after the play fake, wide open 2-point conversion. Nice play calling by Larry Ledlow.
He had McCullough open on the deep corner route as well. Rob Thomas will kick it off for Schoolcraft. Miller and Reed are deep. It comes to Reed. Behind the wedge. Broke down quickly. And down he goes just inside his own 35-yard line. All right, Schoolcraft, if you notice, wears a number 36 on the back of their helmets. They play with a bit of a heavy heart, but also an inspiration. That inspiration is with Trevor Thompson. Trevor?
You've got to look right now at Mark Rasmussen. He's in uniform, but he's not playing for Schoolcraft today because he took a hit during the regional finals against Hopkins. It was a helmet to the midsection. He came off and complained he didn't feel well, and that's when Coach Larry Ledlow knew something serious was wrong because this kid never complains. As it turns out, he was rushed to Brunson Hospital after the game. He had his spleen removed. He's not able to play for obvious reasons. He's bitter about it, but he tells me he's a junior. Hopefully he'll get a chance to come back to this next year, but right now you know he's enjoying the moment. Just look at the look on his face.
No question about it, Trevor. Thank you very much. An inspirational story, and we wish him very, very good opportunities in the coming season, and we hope that he gets that opportunity. As Trevor mentioned, just a junior. He's watching his club hold on to a 13-point cushion, but he also watched Travis Harrison complete his 6th pass of the evening. Good for a 9-yard pickup, and Whittemore-Prescott is knocking on the door for a first down. Split backfield behind Harrison, who's now 6 of 9. 72 yards. I don't think they got that first down. Josh Bell was fighting, scratching, and clawing for it, but the Eagles' defensive line stood him up pretty well.
You called that right. The Eagle defensive line gave no ground that time. They just run straight dive, no play fake, no lead blocker. If you're a big Josh Bell, Harrison just giving the handoff, kind of off an option look. Nothing there. And I really think that Travis Harrison, after he gives the ball off inside the Bell, needs to come down the line of scrimmage a little bit, carry the fake out. He got caught taking pictures, and as a coach, the worst thing can happen is when you got players on the field during the course of a play, start watching instead of playing.
This is a big third down, isn't it?
It's so big, I think Coach Tobin's going to take a timeout.
Tough to blame him there. This one needs to count for something. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Kyle Tobin and the Cardinals staring at a third down and short, but he's staring at a 13-point deficit. We'll see if he makes it when we come back to the Pontiac Silverdome, the Division VI State Championship on Fox Sports Net. Back at the Silverdome, the Division VI State Championship, bragging rights on the line. 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Schoolcraft's Eagles are on top 20-7. Whittemore-Prescott with a third down and short. They are 1 for 4 on third down conversions so far here tonight. Jumbo package in there, Joe Betke, 6'4", pushing 300. He'll bowl his way up front. Deep handoff, first down. Scott Berriger picks it up for the Cardinals, move the chains.
I want to make a little point here. Talking to Coach Ledlow, he knew physically he did not match up well. He didn't like the matchups up front. I said, Coach, what are you going to do? He said, you know, they're a lot bigger. What do you do? He says, we're going to get into gaps, we're going to slant, we're going to angle, we're going to create havoc by getting into space and making them move their feet. And so far, they've done a pretty good job of doing that, not just lining up in a two-gap situation where you're trying to take on that big lineman, get in and make them move, and they're doing a nice job. That time, when they know they're going to run it and they tighten down their splits, that's where you saw where Whittemore could have some success.
Both clubs have a half a dozen first down markers so far. Harrison with a quick drop, pressure up the middle. Couldn't get away and then delivered it to the far side. No hankies flying here. Schoolcraft fans want another intentional grounding.
And there was a receiver, I'm not sure who it was over there, I'm trying to get a number, it might have been Josh Bell. You're going to see pressure. He wants to go to his left. Some good elusiveness here, trying to tackle by the ankles. There was a receiver in the flat who then turned up the field. Right. So I think the official gave him the benefit of the doubt. As he sees him in the flat, now as he's getting pulled, he goes to throw it to him while the receiver breaks it deep. Yep. So a nice job by the officials, and that's why they're here. These are the best in the state.
Bob Shook holding on for dear life, making Harrison's life a little miserable. He's staring at a second down and 10. One setback, Miller picks up the blitz. They get it away and dropped. That's unfortunate. Chris Whetstone had it right in his hooks, but unable to hold on. This Cardinals club, Rob, has been fighting the flu bug really bad all week. You wonder if some of their energy is gone a little bit.
Yeah, you wonder a little bit. And Travis Harrison, you wonder if he's like shell-shocked during the World War II in England, because he threw that ball a little bit quicker than he needed to. Right. But sometimes that comes from getting hit and getting hit and getting hit and have people at your ankles the entire day. And that's what he's faced. He threw rushed a little bit, unable to get it to Bell, who had a little bit of running room.
Pretty even along both sides of the ledger, but the difference has been special teams, folks, and big plays. Harrison trying to make one here for the Cardinals. Over the head of Berriger. I think he had his man open there. McCullough on the defensive side. Watch Berriger break it out. He would have had the first down if the ball was a little bit lower.
Well, you get a nice shot here on the bottom of your screen. Look, Harrison wants to go. He's looking the whole way, and that ball just takes off on him, Matt. You're exactly right. That's not a well-thrown ball by Travis. It took off Berger. It turned the defender a little bit enough. He gave enough of a window where the ball could have been delivered. Travis couldn't get it done.
Hey, 9 chances out of 10. Travis Harrison makes that play. He's made plays all year long. Brad Reed, a playmaker, will kick it away. This might be his best punt of the evening. A fair catch made by Schoolcraft at the 25-yard line. Well, we talked about Kyle Tobin and the Cardinals and the way this club has been able to respond to challenges. They know they're the underdog in this situation. They come from farming families, hard-working families, and they play with a bit of the chip on their shoulder. They're going to have to lower that shoulder a little bit more here tonight if they want to get back at Zach Rutkowski and the Schoolcraft Club, who have 2 state championships in their trophy case in the hallways, the latest in 1989. Looking for the first of the new millennium. On a 1st down and 10, and with a 13-point cushion. Melchik, left side, breaks it in, spins, and picks up about 6. Let's check out how both these clubs got to this point. As we mentioned, impressive fashion. Whittemore-Prescott with a 51-0 shellacking of Clare, averaging 56.5 points per game in the playoffs. Schoolcraft, the most points they've given up all season long was to Livonia-Clarenceville. 48-30 winners were the Eagles in the semis. That's our Little Caesars road to the finals, brought to you by our good friends at Little Caesars. 2nd down and 4 on the 31-yard line. Melching again. Well, why not ride the lucky horse, right, Rob? This guy is picking him up and putting him down. Has put this team in pretty good shape with a couple of touchdown runs. Zach Rutkowski keeps calling his number, and he's responding. It's a 3rd down and 4 now.
Yeah, but I think that what we have to remember about Melching, he's not a guy that's going to run people over. If you want that, you bring in Rob Thomas, the big fullback. What Melching needs is a little bit of space so he can use his speed to get into a seam. That time there was no space allowed by Whittemore. A good job defensively. If they can do that to Melching, they can limit his space. They can stop that big play that they hit him so hard early in the first or later in the first quarter.
Kyle Tobin checking out his club. He's the eternal pessimist. He never knew that this his club would be vying for a state championship. Not until they won the semis. He has a bleak look right now. Especially when Thomas picks up 1st down, yardage and more. Close to midfield. I tell you what, Schoolcraft is beating them at the line of scrimmage, Rob.
They're beating them at the line of scrimmage, and they're beating them by formation a little bit. That time they took 2 receivers and spread them wide out. Right here on the bottom. Look at how far the space is between the line of scrimmage. That pulls the secondary out, and it opens up a natural seam, a good kick-out block at the point of attack.
19-yard gain. Schoolcraft can get more if they want it, even though they only have 2.5 left to go in the half. Thomas. Berger is there, but not before Thomas picks up a couple. Schoolcraft might be wearing them down a little bit too, Rob.
Well, they're wearing them down because they're getting a lot of plays. And that's obviously,
right.
They're very astute on my part, but that's how you do it. You control the ball, you keep pounding it at people, you hit them with the big pass play to keep drives going, but you keep running and hitting them right, hitting them left, and that's what they're able to do right now. And we really haven't seen their bread and butter play, which is the quick pitch. We've seen the draw, but not the quick pitch.
Thomas averaging a little bit better than 4 yards per carry. 2nd down and 8. Melching on the draw. Nowhere.
Well, talking to the coaches before the game, you wonder if they always tell you the truth, because Coach Ledlow says his bread and butter running play was the quick pitch. And he said, well, we run the fullback trap and the draw some. Well, they've run the draw about 6 times. Have you seen that quick pitch yet?
No.
I think he knew I hadn't talked to the Whittemore coach, and not knowing me as well as like my wife and family, they would tell me the truth. I don't think Larry told me the truth. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, you are a member of the media. Not often do people tell members of the media.
I am a school teacher by nature. Most honest people in the world.
Scary, though. Rutkowski, scary good, lofting over the middle, picked up by Reed. Brad Reed has a team best 4 now. Watch out, he's returned 2 for scores. Not this one, a flag on the play. Boy, Rutkowski would like to have that back.
I think we were going to have an illegal block. It's not going to stop the turnover. Whittemore's still going to get the ball, but you're going to see an illegal block, I think, in the back on the return.
We've got a clip. on the defense after the interception on the run back.
Now, we're going to get a shot right here. Here's Reed. He's hanging out in center field, and this ball is just thrown up for grabs, and he does a nice job of reading the quarterback's eyes and playing the center field. Now, right here, you're going to see a low. That's a little light, a little thin, but he did hit the defender, or the offensive man, actually, in the back a little bit, knocks him down, and the Whittemore fans going to look, and they're not really liking it. But if you put the hands on the guy's back, they're going to call you every time. Well, Reed, you know, that's why this is a young man that was averaging 50.4 yards a kickoff return coming in. They don't have a lot of returns because no one scored on him much, but in 4 kickoff returns, he had like 202 yards, something incredible.
Can't stress enough that Whittemore-Prescott is just not used to being down like this. I mean, their defense gave up just 5 points per game during the regular season, 10 in the playoffs. So far, they've given up 20. Harrison looking to get some of it back. Lofting far side for Miller. Caught it. Was he inbounds? No. Tight coverage by Pat McCullough.
And Travis put a little bit too much air on it. And you're seeing him going out of the shotgun a little bit here to give Travis a little bit better chance to read down the field, as other teams in this stadium do. The Lions now. Now you're going to look at right here, Owen out of bounds. I think you're going to see an excellent call by the official. The ball is not there yet. Well, you know what? If we're looking at his left foot as possession, that's a great call. And I think the official he was right on the spot, Matt. So we're not going to question him from 100 yards away.
Harrison again out of the shotgun. 2nd down and 10. This time he connects with Miller. Couldn't get to the first down. Again, McCullough on the coverage. 45 seconds left to go in the first half. The clock as much the enemy as Schoolcraft for Whittemore-Prescott here.
And I'm a little bit surprised at the Schoolcraft coverages right now. They're still playing a fairly tight man-to-man with 30 seconds and a half. I got to believe their secondary is going to soften up a little bit and try to keep everything in front of them.
John Walsh is split wide left on the near side. The inside handoff to Reed. Weaving his way, working toward the sideline, but he couldn't get there.
Okay, let's watch the kill it play now, Matt. Let's see if Whittemore's we're going to see a timeout. We know they have something in their arsenal where they'll come up to the line of scrimmage when it looks like they're going to kill the clock, and they'll be yelling, kill it, but they'll snap the ball and throw it down the field, trying to get their defense relaxing.
A little bit of Dan Marino against the Jets, 5-6 years ago, right?
Yep, it's I don't think it was looked very well upon by the rest of the NFL. It's kind of like an unwritten code. When you say kill it, you're going to kill it, throw the stinking ball down, we're not going to hit you. But Marino, being the wise cracker that he is, decided he's going to throw a touchdown pass instead.
Jay Fiedler's playing pretty well. He beat the Lions right here at the Dome as well. All right, coming up, the Division IV football final, Coopersville against Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That is tonight, but it'll be tape delayed and played back at tonight or on Sunday rather, Sunday at noon and tonight at 3:30 in the morning. Rob Rubik and I will have that for you. Should be a good matchup there. Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Coopersville. So we look forward to bringing that your way. Again, tape delayed, 3:30 in the morning tonight and Sunday at noon.
It's going to be an interesting halftime in the Whittemore-Prescott locker room with Coach Tobin. He's going to look into the faces of these young men, Matt, and look in their eyes and try to get a feel for them. What do they got? You know, how are they going to react to this being down 20-7 at half? Hopefully positive if you're a Whittemore-Prescott fan.
2 times the Cardinals have been runners-up, 4-time regional champions. They're hoping this trip to the Dome would be a little bit different. Harrison fires. Reed, great catch. 45. The question is, do they have enough time? The clock will stop to move the chains. And again, Rob told you a little bit about that fake timeout or fake downing of the football.
A nice job, stutter step by Brad Reed, getting inside position. One-hand catch. Great job by the boys in the truck. Excellent isolation here. Brad Reed, he attacks the defender. Now Travis Harrison steps. Look how he steps into the pass. It's actually deflected a little bit by the defensive lineman. What concentration by Brad Reed following the ball, one-hand catch. That's the type of playmaking that Whittemore-Prescott is used to seeing this year. It's been a little bit few and far between in the first half. Now let's also consider, and we're looking at Kyle Tobin, is that they have an excellent field goal kicker in Berger. And if they may feel if they get 15 to 17 yards here in this play, they can maybe kill the clock and give Berger a chance to pick up 3 points.
Drew Hamilton had another finger. That's batted down. Pretty nice play. Be pretty scary, but it'd be. There's Berger. He's the kicker.
Wonder how
And a good one he is.
But you wonder how fresh his legs are. He plays every play, never leaves the field.
Pick up a 14. Berger does have 14 field goals to his credit. See if Harrison can get him in position. Fires far side. Look at the strength. Reed's got it to the 20. 6 seconds left to go. Tried to roll out of bounds.
To number 3, Brad.
There it is. He's signaling for the kill. Right here, it's a wheel roll. They bring the outside guy in, the inside guy out, down the sidelines, and Reed just makes a play. Now they're calling for the kill it here.
Pick up the 26. They will kill it. No fake there because they're trying to get 3 points.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Tobin's not on my Christmas list after that. I mean, I thought I had
Well, you can't blame him
but
there,
I
right?
thought I had the skinny, the inside scoop. All week I kept thinking, I can't wait to use this. I hope they get in a situation when they want to kill it, and he kills it.
If you were Chris Myers, maybe he would have given you that information. Chris Myers on the NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net every Sunday morning, joined by former Lion Chris Spielman. There's Larry Ledlow, whose club is on top by 13. The question is, will he talk to Trevor Thompson with a 13-point lead or a 10-point edge?
Well, who do you go to here? Let's see.
Well, they're going to run out of the shotgun. They're not even going to try and kick it. Reed, 3 catches for 83. He's the favorite target. They'll fire to the far side. Caught. Spinning. Oh, they gave him the touchdown.
Oh, my.
They gave Miller the touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Harrison to Miller for the score. They hooked up twice against Claire. The 15th touchdown catch for Clint Miller this
Right
year.
here, Clint Miller coming out man-to-man coverage. Plus, he's got help over the top. I'm going to get the ball when it's in the air. He does. He stretches. A nice job. It's a close call. Looks like his knee might be down. But let's remember, he's also stretching the ball at the same time. And what a break for Whittemore. And what a drive for a 2-minute drill in high school.
Berger, 55 of 60 on extra points. Make it 56 for 61. Well, will that change momentum much? A late touchdown on an improbable opportunity.
How about
4
Travis?
seconds.
Excuse me, Matt, but how about Travis Harrison in this drive? What command of the passing game. Look at Miller go up, grab the ball, and have the presence of mind to know where he was and to extend to get the ball into the end zone.
How about the arm Travis Harrison showed? 20-14. We got a good one here in the Division VI state championship game. Back and forth we've gone. 7 plays, 73 yards in just a little bit more than a minute. Harrison picking up to Miller for 20 yards, and it's a 20-14 Schoolcraft lead. But again, how much does momentum change going into the break?
You know, there's such a fine line between success and failure. Right here, you get another look at it. Harrison, what command, what poise in the pocket, steps, well-thrown ball. Nice effort going up for the ball, and you know what? His left arm is down, but I think his right arm is ahead, so it's a great call.
Yeah, I wonder if Larry Ledlow thought it was a great call. He's now with Trevor Thompson. Trevor?
Thanks a lot, Matt. Coach, you just had a word with the referees. What were you saying?
We just want them to watch everything and make sure we're letting our receivers get downfield in a correct manner.
Can you run through that last drive for us?
Their drive?
Yes, their drive.
They just hit some plays. They hit some big plays. We thought we had him stopped down there, but apparently he must have dove in, and they executed it at the right time. They give them credit. Their kids don't quit.
You had 3 touchdowns in the first half. You went for 3 2-point conversions after that. Tell us why.
We think we're a decent, regardless of the result, a decent 2-point conversion team, and we've been real successful with it, and we try to put people in a little bit of a bind. They've got a good kicker, so we know they'll go for 1 when they get a chance, so we try to put a little pressure on them.
Any adjustments you want to make for the second half?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of them. They're doing some different things on defense, that some reaction to our sets, and their offense, we just got to get steady. I'm real proud of our defense. Other than that last little drive right there, we played real well on defense, I think.
What do you have to do to maintain this lead?
Defense is always a key in a game like this, but we also on offense have got to make some first downs and establish our running game a little bit better. We're throwing the ball all right, but we need to be able to run it too.
Good first half. Good luck in the second, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Matt, we'll go back upstairs to you.
Trevor, thank you. Larry Ledlow's Schoolcraft Eagles have scored 3 times, all 3 times on the ground, and I think they've established something, Rob.
Oh, they absolutely have established something that they're a team to be reckoned with. But, Matt, what a fine line between success and failure in football at any level. You have a tip pass and a one-hand catch that really is a big play that leads to that final touchdown. So right now, we're in a barn burner, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, everybody should be loving it right here on Fox Sports Net. Schoolcraft is as well. Thomas has a touchdown run. Mike Melching has 2, including this 64-yarder and a 2-yarder, too. Schoolcraft has the 6-point lead at the break at the Dome on Fox Sports Net. The Eagles of Schoolcraft have won the first 2 quarters and lead by 6 at the break in the Division 6 state championship game. They're playing obviously here at the Pontiac Silverdome where they have turf, but as Trevor Thompson now joins us live and tells us about it, there are some high schools out there, Trev, who also play on AstroTurf, right?
Today they're playing at the Dome, and they're playing on this, and trust me, it's not very soft. I wouldn't want to land on it. It's not very spongy, not very thick. That's what they've got here at the Silverdome. But some of these high schools in the region have stuff that you wouldn't believe. It looks like real grass. It feels like real grass. More expensive than real grass to maintain, I can tell you that. The landscaping bills I would not want to pay. But we've got to look at these schools and exactly what they're playing on. And trust me, sometimes the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, guys. Greener on the other side of the fence. Well, when the grass on the other side of the fence isn't grass at all. Yes, this looks and even feels like the real deal, but don't be fooled. It's as phony as a $3 bill.
Our previous team doctor come out here and say, I heard you guys got an artificial field. Where is it? And he was standing on it. And several people who come by and ask, how do you keep your grass that green all year long? Because it's just, if you see it from far away, it really does look like a natural surface. And it plays like one as well.
These are the sights and sounds of a natural grass football field in Michigan in late fall. Not exactly music to the ears of high school players and coaches.
We can't even practice here. We have to use a side, maybe where there's still some good grass left, or we have to go up on the hill, we call it, where there's a little bit better drainage.
At Detroit Country Day High School, drainage isn't a problem. These artificial grass surfaces are in tip-top condition come rain or shine.
There's a little texture in here of rubber, and I don't know that you can see it very well, but there is a little sand in here, and that's supposed to aid in the drainage. And, the water doesn't pool on the top and sit on the top, and it's been great. They say you can hold up to 4 inches of rain per hour, which is storms we don't likely have, so it's been great from that standpoint. The footing has been terrific. I think, it's probably the best thing we've done here in the athletic department.
Excellent drainage is just one advantage this grassy turf has over the real thing. Players rave over it, however, for less sophisticated reasons.
It's always the same length, so you don't slip as much, and that's pretty much it. It's nice to play outside, too, on turf, and it'd be nice to have that here.
They have coils underneath it, you can feel, while you're playing. It just feels like you're playing on, like, springs, and it's really nice. I really like playing on that type of field.
Actually, I find the traction on this field to be a little better than, the natural grass. It's a quicker cut, you don't have to, regain yourself or, regroup after, make a sudden move.
I like it because on normal grass, a lot of times you'll kick up some dirt and you might slip, but this actually, you're running and you can make perfect cuts.
I played on 3 years. I've never seen a carpet burn, never had any serious injuries like turned ankles or anything like that. And I like the weathering surface because, it doesn't get wet, it doesn't get like big puddles, it doesn't get muddy, so I like that. I don't like to get dirty.
Now there's an advantage not many football players would mention, but it's true. Even after getting down and dirty diving for loose balls, everyone comes up clean. Now, Country Day isn't the only school in the region that has this artificial grass surface. However, the turf here at Country Day is much different from the turf here at Groves High School, which is thicker and deeper, which is similar to the field here at Seaholm High School. But none of these turfs are quite the same as the one the teams will play on this weekend. Each of those surfaces is vastly different than the one the teams will play on here at the Silverdome, which is a layer of asphalt covered by a layer of foam with the turf on top. And the pros have some advice.
My advice would be just to cover your knees and your elbows and you avoid those turf burns. And usually when you go from playing on grass to turf all the time, you tend to cramp up. So just to be stretched out too.
It doesn't give at all. So if you get like your leg caught in it, you could really tear your knee up or an ankle. Injuries are much more severe.
The Dome is a really nice field. It's a unique experience for a high school kid to play there, especially compared to this, but I actually prefer grass.
On the Silverdome turf, you definitely get scraped up. It's really hard. There's cement under that, but this, it's fine because it's a lot more like regular grass. It doesn't have cement under it. There's actually sand and some rubber particles. So when you fall, you don't get skinned up.
Okay, so the thrill of playing in the Dome may only last until the first turf burn brings reality home. But the turf at local high schools is really beginning to grow on those close to the game.
The Birmingham schools like Groves and Seaholm, they've got their turf in there. It's beautiful. I mean, they can use it for soccer. They can use it for lacrosse. They can use it for a lot of things. And maybe it's worth putting in a field like that. But it costs a lot of money, and I don't know. There's a lot of other projects that we have to do first before we put a football field out here.
But with all the sports taking place at Brother Rice and other high school programs around the state, the $500,000 it would cost may be money well spent, because in this case, the grass is indeed greener on the other side of the fence. No word on just how many turf burns were suffered in the first half here, but I know one thing, winning a state championship would definitely ease the pain. Matt, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Trevor, I sure would, but you wonder if it is an advantage. Country Day has the artificial surface. They won the state championship last year. Brother Rice doesn't. They won a state championship earlier today right here on Fox Sports Net, beating Hudsonville 21-7. Who will be crowned Division 6 champion, Schoolcraft or Cardinals? We still have another 24 minutes to play. Whittemore-Prescott's band has something to cheer about because they came back late, but they're down by 6. Pretty even game here for the Division 6 crown. Schoolcraft on top by 6, and it seems like the Eagles are doing a lot of stuff right, offensively and defensively, Rob Rubik.
Well, they know they're mismatched up front, so we're going to get a look right here. You're going to see a lot of inside penetration by the defensive line, trying to get in gaps, creating a pile, and allowing the linebackers to scrape and make the play. And that's what you do when you're physically outmanned by size up front. A nice job. Look at the linebacker. All the penetration up front. Let the guys come in from the backside, make the play, negative gain, and Schoolcraft has been in the backfield of Whittemore a lot today, forcing Whittemore to throw maybe a little bit more than Coach Tobin's comfortable with.
Yeah, especially on the ground game. Whittemore-Prescott only 56 yards on the ground. We'll break that down and a whole lot more with Rob Rubik when we come back. Halftime at the Dome with the Cardinals trailing the Eagles 20-14 for bragging rights in Division 6 on Fox Sports Net. First time all year, Whittemore-Prescott has trailed at the break. They got a late touchdown, but are down by 6 to the Eagles of Schoolcraft. Welcome back here of Fox Sports Net's coverage of the state championships here in the state of Michigan. Alongside Rob Rubik, my name is Matt Shepard. This has been a lot of fun, hasn't it, buddy?
That's an understatement of the year, man. I'm having a blast. And the best news is we got another one after this, so I'm excited. What a first half we had.
Hey, best news is that we got 24 minutes left in this one. Let's see how it started. Schoolcraft drawing first blood.
Rob Thomas showing some good ups here. A little power inside, touchdown up and over. If you can't go through them, go over them. Now Whittemore answers back. A nice underneath counter to Brad Reed, showing some speed, showing a little bit of diversity in the offense that we hadn't seen up to that point. Now right here, Zach Rakowski, one of the bread and butter plays, Matt, the draw. Melching showing some speed, splitting the defenders, extra gear right here. And that's what every great running back has to have. Now we're going to see more of the power football, power eye on the goal line, give it to the tailback, and that's nothing fancy. And now after you pound them with the power eye, you do the play fake out of it. You find Rob Thomas leaking into the flat, 2-point conversion. But Whittemore doesn't give up. They throw it to Clint Miller. He says, it's my ball, it's in the air, and I'm going home.
Yeah, big late touchdown to give Whittemore-Prescott maybe a little bit of a momentum. Let's look at our first half stats brought to you by our good friends at Farm Bureau Insurance. What jumps out at you there, Rob Rubik?
Well, you're seeing a little bit of separation in the passing yards. 138 for Whittemore, only 68 for Schoolcraft, but vice versa. Schoolcraft 90 on the ground, Whittemore only 56. Look how even the stats are. That's why the game is even, Matt. When you can compete that hard, that close in the first half, nothing but good things.
All right, big guys have stepped up already for both clubs. One of the big guys for Whittemore-Prescott all season long has been Scott Berger. This is a guy who wasn't even supposed to be playing football. Trevor Thompson has that story. Trev?
Thanks a lot, Matt, and I'm with Scott's father right now, Howard. And Howard, it was a fateful night 5 years ago that you were on your way home from a football game and something tragic happened. Tell us about what happened that night and who was in the car with you.
Well, we were on our way home from a Rogers City football game. We were going up there to watch, and we were on our way home, and there was 5 of us in a van that we were driving home in, and we got hit by a drunk driver. During that time, everybody in the van was injured very bad, and Scott broke his back, and Scott's sister Jody had her face caved in, and father-in-law was severely injured, broken hips and stuff. Had an uncle that got killed, and so it was pretty tragic.
It's a tragic story, but Scott's here today. How much does it mean for him to be playing this afternoon?
Oh, it means just a tremendous amount. When Scott was in that accident, one of the renowned neurosurgeons out of our area here told Scott that he would never ever play high school sports, and Scott just wouldn't let that happen. And he plays with tremendous heart. He's got some defects, that he's got to work through, but Scott has just done a tremendous job. And as far as school and athletics, he just gives it his all.
It's a great story. We'll wish him the best in the second half and wish Whittemore-Prescott the best in the second half. Back to you, Matt.
Trevor, thanks. What a great feel-good story that is from a fine young man from a fine family. Now he's got to concentrate on football. 24 minutes to catch up to Schoolcraft when we come back. Bottom line is who's leading. Schoolcraft has a 6-point edge at the half. Zach Rutkowski and company will get another shot. The third quarter upcoming on Fox Sports Net next. Schoolcraft with the lead and a chance with the ball to start this second half of play. Berger set to kick it deep to Dan Fletcher and Mike Melching. Seen the squib kick all evening long. Melching saw it hop over. Now inside the 5. And he's going to be down right there. Wow. Great opportunity for Whittemore-Prescott. What kind of decisions and kind of changes might they have made at the break? Trevor Thompson caught up with their head coach, Kyle Tobin.
Tobin, a big boost in momentum in the second half as you came at the end of the first half, rather, with that big drive. How is that going to give you a lift coming into the second half?
Well, I hope it does. We're not being very physical, and that's what I'm concerned about. They're really beating us off the football. We told our offensive linemen we got to do a better job this half. We got a little lucky there at the end. Hopefully we got some momentum. We can get a stop here on defense and make something happen.
Is that your biggest adjustment for this half, or is there something else you want to adjust?
We've adjusted some blocking assignments. They're putting a lot of pressure on us, so hopefully we've got that taken care of. But they're a good football team, and we knew we were going to have a fight here.
Thanks a lot. You're down 6. All the best.
We're going to go.
Matt, back to you.
All right, Trev, thanks. They start with a handoff to Mike Melching, brought down by Chris Wetzenet. Melching picked up the majority of Schoolcraft's rushing yards in the first half. 70 of the 90 yards went to number 22.
Well, it's funny listening to Trevor with Coach Tobin. It's the same thing that we were talking about at halftime, Matt, you and I, where we felt that Schoolcraft was just too quick up front, getting in the backfield, beating his big lineman off the ball. That's an adjustment he's trying to make at half. Let's see how they respond to it.
Minimal gain, just a pickup of 2, just underway here in the second half. Been a great first half of football. Glad you've joined us here on Fox Sports Net, your leader and home for high school state championship play. Whittemore-Prescott rejuvenated at the break. Stuffing Melching again, no gain, 3rd down and long.
Well, sometimes you will find out who are the great coaches, who are the good coaches, and who are the poor coaches. When they come out of half, the second half, when you're trailing or you're ahead, what adjustments do you make? How does your team respond in the second half to meet the challenge of trying to hold on to a lead and extend it, or to cut into a lead? And we're going to see that here in the second half. It's going to unfold. It's going to be very interesting.
Both teams had great field position in the first half. Schoolcraft 2 of 5 on 3rd down. Big first down gain, a fumble. 3rd turnover for the Eagles. This time it's deep in their own territory, and after Rob Thomas had already picked up the first down play, Brad Webster on the recovery, the man who moved from linebacker to defensive end, trailing the play, never giving up, giving Whittemore-Prescott good field position.
Well, Schoolcraft sets this up with the previous play where they give it on the dive. This time they fake it and they go outside the Thomas. Great effort by Whittemore, not giving up on the play, even after Thomas has picked up about 15 yards. Now look, he's carrying it out there a little bit. He needs to get his other hand on the ball. It gets knocked out. He tries reaching for it, and right now Rob Thomas feels as bad as anyone. And you're going to see this man play defense and try to make something happen.
There's Miller, who ended the first half with a touchdown catch, tripped up by Hamilton, but not before. He picked up about 6 or 7.
Well, this is exactly the medicine the doctor ordered for the Cardinals. Come on the second half, create a turnover. Well, even before that, create field position on the kickoff. They get the fumbled kick return, stops them deep in their territory. They come out, they get a turnover defensively. Now it's absolutely critical that the offense capitalizes on this.
Harrison 10 for 17 on the day, 138 yards and a touchdown score. That coming to Miller as time expired in the first half. Second down and 4. Miller works the left side. Another fumble. But this time the Cardinals hop all over it. Guys are coughing it up a little bit. Whittemore-Prescott has just 1 turnover. And it came on their 6th possession. They were going absolutely nowhere on the first 2 possessions.
You're going to see a good job by Schoolcraft. Right here, they're going to come up the field and take on the trap block, number 69. But look how the defender's able to roll. That's Melching. Rolling out of the trap block. A good job creating a pile.
Third down play. Harrison knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Scott Taylor hopped up and batted it down with both hands.
Well, this is the beauty of high school football right now. It's 4th down and 6. If you're here watching the Lions, it's, here comes Jason Hansen, another field goal for the Lions. But in this situation, even though Whittemore does have an excellent kicker in Berger, I got a feeling they might be going for it. I know, Jim, I see the tee. Number 1's holding the tee, so I better interrupt myself. Berger was off the field, so I thought they were pulling him, but he was just changing his shoe.
Right. This guy's an all-state kicker. 10 field goals during the regular season. Kick is up. He's got the leg, and he's got 3 points. A 32-yard field goal. Trevor Thompson has a little bit more in depth on Scott Berger.
Yeah, Matt, there's a note on him. His father told me that his neck is severely swollen, and he can barely swallow. In fact, he may have mono and shouldn't be playing the game. But it's a game he wouldn't miss. He's going to go to the hospital after the contest and get himself checked out.
All right, good stuff, Trevor. I don't know how many Cardinals are going to be hugging Scott Berger by the end of the day because they'll all get mono too. But if they pick up a state championship ring, it might be worth it. The difference is 3 at the Dome on Fox Sports Net. Well, Whittemore-Prescott, only 5 yards in 4 plays, but a little bit less than a minute and a half off the clock, and they get 3 out of it thanks to Scott Berger's 32-yard field goal, and it's a 20-17 Schoolcraft lead. Scooting it along the carpet. Another bad hop over Melching. He'll grab it inside his own 5. Drags would-be tacklers out to the 15-yard line. That's about as good as you can do from that situation.
Well, Matt, let's give Schoolcraft some credit here. After the turnover, sudden change situation, they very easily could have folded and allowed a touchdown by Whittemore, but instead, they suck it up, they bull their necks a little bit. 3 and out for Whittemore, forcing a long field goal by Berger. So in a way, that's absolutely a win for Schoolcraft, holding Whittemore just to 3 points.
On the other hand, they have scored the last 11 points. The latest coming via the 32-yard Berger boot. 10 points off the 3 Eagle turnovers. That has been key. Handoff to Thomas. He's the one who turned it over last time. Breaks free! Up the far side. Does he have enough in the tank? Reed will catch it from behind. But a big gainer in Schoolcraft has an answer for the momentum. 55 yards deep into Cardinal territory.
Well, you expect plays from this from your tailback Melching, but you're going to get an ISO right here. A little false step, going to the left, cuts back to the right. Now this is your fullback who's got a little bit of jets. He's able to outrun Morley, but look at Reed come from all the way across the field, a long strider, great effort, stopping a potential touchdown. Now, Schoolcraft has changed the field position after the fumble kickoff deep in their hole. Now they got it on Whittemore's 30 after a big play.
Get that man some oxygen. His longest run of the year was about 94 yards. The guy can pick him up and put him down. Melching breaks free, close to another first down. Boy, Schoolcraft is just pounding it away. Melching already 2 touchdown runs on the evening.
Okay, now look right here. You're going to see some excellent blocking at the point of attack. Everyone turning, blocking out, moving their men outside, because this is just a straight-ahead dive. Nothing fancy. Some good blocking, creating a seam. A nice job of holding the ball. Look at him protect the ball now, Melching. Even though he wasn't the one that fumbled on the last time, but Schoolcraft really getting it done on the ground. 168 yards.
That's what we were talking about, just pounding away. First down and 10. Thomas again. Tripped up from behind by Berriger. Thomas is close to the 100-yard mark.
Thomas doing a good job along with Melching. Every offensive play, running play, usually has a sister running play. And that time we saw 2 plays in a row. One was the brother, one was the sister. The first one was just a handoff to the fullback going right. That time it was the fake to the fullback and coming back to the tailback. It's the same play. The quarterback does the same play fake and carries out the same motion. You just give it to the second man.
Thomas with 10 carries, 97 yards. Out of a split backfield. Fakes to Thomas, wide open. Oh, Rakowski would love to have that delivery back from Melching.
Oh, Zach had Melching breaking into the clear. He actually got behind the secondary for the first time today. Whittemore got caught playing a little peekaboo into the backfield. You can't get caught when you're in the secondary. You teach your men, you play pass, you play pass, you play pass. Then you come up and play run. That time they played run first. They get behind them, almost a touchdown.
This is a big play. Schoolcraft, 2 for 7 on third down conversions, but maybe more importantly, they don't have a kicker, and they just misfired on a possible 6 points there. Let's see what they can do with that as we approach the 7.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Schoolcraft on top by 3. Fake toss, wide open. First down and more. I tell you what, Dan Fletcher and Pat McCullough, who just made that catch, and some of the other guys on the Schoolcraft club do a nice job of yards after the catch.
Okay, right here, you're going to look. The 2 receivers, the first one's going to clear. McCullough's going to work his man, press him inside, and just snap out on an out route. And that's actually, I got to mix up. McCullough's going to press on the outside. There it is. Look at him snap it out. What a nice job by McCullough of getting the defensive back's shoulders turned. You want every receiver, once you get his shoulders turned, he's toast.
Give him 12. Tarski now starting to find a groove. First down and goal from the 5. Thomas been the workhorse on this drive. They wanted to try and reward him. Brad Reed would have none of that. It'll be second down and goal from about the 3.
Well, we saw Whittemore back we saw Schoolcraft in this situation come out in the power I and run it right at him, and then on the extra point, they faked the pass and he had the fullback into the flat. Wouldn't be surprised to see something similar here with a little bit of play action trying to get it in. But once again, with the success they've had on the ground, how greedy do you get as a coach?
Larry Ledlow of Schoolcraft told us earlier in the week he loves his team's resiliency, their competitiveness. They're up by 3, 2 yards away from another 6. Melching won't have it there. Headed off as he tried to hit the corner. Brian Arndt, the stud of his defense, makes the tackle with a little bit of help from Dan Morley.
Well, talking to Coach Tobin before the game, who do you want to watch in defense? He's number 99, Arndt. You can get right here. This is the bread and butter play I heard so much about, the quick pitch. Obviously, Whittemore had a little bit of bread and butter for them coming back at him. Right here, Zach Rakowski, nothing fancy. He just takes it, slings it one hand underneath. Morley, though, let's look at the job he does, getting out there along with Arndt, stopping it. Big third down situation.
A loss of 2, third down and 5. Rakowski will throw for it. Sling it, no one's home. Now what do you do if you're Schoolcraft?
Well, I know that you're not going to do. You're not going to kick a field goal because I don't think they have a kicker. But, you know, listening to Coach Ledlow, maybe they do have a kicker, but they're so, I don't want to say cocky, let's say so much confidence in their offense that they're going to rather go for 2 each time instead of trying to kick it. But looking at the personnel change, I got a feeling I don't see a T coming in the game. They're going to go for 2. Or I'm going to go for a touchdown in this situation.
Schoolcraft 12 up and 2 down out of the St. Joe Valley Conference. Second in the conference, was forced to forfeit one of their games even though they beat them 47-0 because they had an ineligible player that only played 3 plays during that game. They're on top by 3 with a big 4th down and 5. Rutkowski delivers to Thomas. He's spun around, and Whittemore-Prescott's defense delivers as well. Betke and Berriger are there to lead the charge with Erickson. Turn it over. The Cardinals will move back the other way, looking for the lead.
Right here, one of the bread and butter plays. The last 2 plays, first with a draw. The first was a quick pitch, then they come back with a draw. These are their most successful plays during the course of the year. Whittemore obviously scouting them very well, realized this. They saw how wide the receivers are trying to pull them out to the right. They didn't buy it, Matt. They stayed home. Great play by the Cardinals.
That's a play that worked in the first half. That's called adjustments made at the break.
And that's talking about kids learning on the job. They're starting to get a feel for what Schoolcraft's trying to do. Wow, nice. Still, let's give Schoolcraft some credit. Moving the ball from deep in their own end. Now they got the field position battle won again. Let's see what Whittemore can do with their backs up against the wall.
I think this could be a 12-point swing. If Whittemore-Prescott drives and scores, again, we go back to Schoolcraft. A wide open Melching and just a misfire there by Rutkowski. On the ground, and the Cardinals will pick up about a half a dozen. Miller, the ball carrier. Clint Miller has quietly put together a pretty nice ball game for Whittemore-Prescott. He's doing it through the air, has a touchdown catch, and even though he's averaging about 2 yards per carry, a couple of big runs for Clint Miller today has allowed him to pick up 23 yards. He sits back in the eye. Josh Bell up front. Travis Harrison and his club down by 3 and a 2nd down and 3. Willard, jitter stepping on the right side. Nothing working there.
Talking before the game, talking with Coach Ledlow, I said, what is your defensive philosophy? Every coach has different type of philosophy. He says ours is attacking. And you see how many people they have up on the line of scrimmage. Each play, Matt, they're bringing 7, 8, which puts a lot of pressure outside because you're playing man-to-man behind it. So far, they've been successful, but a couple of running plays by Whittemore are about a half a step from going 80 yards the other way.
Kyle Tobin, the head coach of Whittemore-Prescott, told us that his offensive line is the key, big and strong, but they don't want to slug it out with Schoolcraft. They're in a slugfest right now, though. Harrison fires on the run, knocked away. Got some guys popping some pretty good pads out there. Good pressure by Sean McGough and nice coverage by Pat McCullough.
And good adjustments made by the Eagles early in the game, playing soft corners on the receivers, allowing that hitch to be completed. That time they snuck them up just a little bit. Good pressure, forcing Travis Harrison to throw the ball a little bit high. Even if the ball is completed, it's not going to be a first down.
Reed will punt away for the 5th time here this evening. He's averaged a little bit better than 30 yards per boot. All alone back there is Dan Fletcher. Fletcher lets it hit. It hops, and a good grab by McCullough. If you're not a wide receiver or a defensive back there, he may not make that play, but a miscommunication, but Schoolcraft able to survive. Reed and the Cardinals putting the pressure on. They're down by just 3. Schoolcraft has the ball. We come back on Fox Sports Net. Sunday, we're bringing the tailgate party to you with the NFL this morning, the most rambunctious and rocking Sunday morning pregame show you're going to find anywhere. Join Chris Myers, Marv Levy, Jackie Slater, Jay Moore, and the Breakfast Bunch Sunday morning at 10, and it's only here on Fox Sports Net, where they have a lot of fun doing that show. Really enjoy the breakdown that they have week to week. They'll break down the Lions' win over the Patriots. They won't get a chance to break this one down. We are doing that for you right here on Fox Sports Net. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Rutkowski on the right side, not a whole lot happening on the Schoolcraft ground attack. Rob Thomas the carry, maybe got 1 or 2.
Tackle was made by number 25, Josh Bell.
Second down and 9. Schoolcraft leading by 3, but yet to punch it in the 3rd quarter. Two wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Koski again with a fake pitch, firing, nearly intercepted. Well, Miller this time. If he's not helping his club out on offense, Clint Miller is helping him out on defense.
And look at Zach Rakowski. He's getting a little bit more running today than everyone else. After he delivers the ball, after he hands the ball off, he just does like a 180 pirouette and heads right to Coach Ledlow on the sidelines. There's no plays being brought in by players. The quarterback, Zach Rakowski, every time runs to the side. So, you know, he probably runs a marathon in the offseason, maybe a triathlete or something.
Doubles is good enough, isn't it? 3rd down and 9. It's a big play for Schoolcraft. They'd like to get some offensive flow. Kowski, deep drop, plenty of time, firing, and I'll tell you what, they need to talk something over on the sidelines because he is not communicating with Dan Fletcher and Pat McCullough. That time, Fletcher broke in, Rakowski went out.
Nail on the head, Matt. You've seen some miscommunication between the quarterback and the receivers. Sometimes that arises from a few different things. Number one, either the quarterback's getting a lot of pressure, and you look at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a post route. When Zach Rakowski's, he's going to throw the out, and that ain't going to get it done. And one's throwing the corner and one's running the post. That's not going to happen. And that comes from sometimes pressure on the quarterback or just receivers getting frustrated and forgetting their assignment.
Chad Schwabar, his second punt, nearly blocked. Reed fields this and wisely lets it bounce, but it takes a Schoolcraft bounce down to the 11-yard line. Long way to go for Whittemore-Prescott, but if they find it, they claim the lead.
Well, Schoolcraft has been getting field position the last couple of times. Whittemore starting deep in their own end, and defensively, they're creating that by not giving Whittemore the opportunity to pick up a first down, stuffing them in their own end, forcing them to punt. They get the ball at the 50-yard line. Now, once again, even though Schoolcraft can't move it offensively, because of the initial field position, Matt, Whittemore's pent up again.
Whittemore-Prescott 89 yards away from their lead. They trail by 3. Keep it on the ground with Miller. Melching drops him. 2 good running backs and good defensive players. Miller picked up 5.
It's amazing when you watch these two teams, how they mirror each other, both offensively and defensively. Both defensively run very well side to side, pretty physical up front. Even though Schoolcraft doesn't have the size, they're still quite quick up front, creating havoc.
2nd down and 5, ball resting on the 16-yard line of Whittemore-Prescott, who trail by 3 with about 2.5 to go in the 3rd. 3 points scored in this 3rd quarter. Miller sniffing out the 20. He needed to get to the 21 for the first down. We talked in our open, Rob Rubik, about the quarterbacks being the key. That is the underlying theme, and so far, it appears as though Travis Harrison is holding the upper hand, at least stat-wise anyway.
Yeah, but sometimes the best key you have, you know, you're not really utilizing that well. And even though Rakowski's stats are not very impressive, obviously 4 for 17, it's still keeping Whittemore to play honest defensively and helping that running game. And they are having a tremendous amount of success running the ball.
Yeah, they continue to use that fake pitch, and I think Whittemore-Prescott has that sniffed out by now. They have the jumbo package in. They have the first down, folks. Scott Behringer lunging over. Kyle Tobin put that, he kind of implemented a training program when he first took over 16 years ago and implemented this jumbo package. He really felt that is the reason his club lost a year ago.
And it very well could have been. And by doing that, it eliminates one less concern that you have going into a game. Those short yardage situations, you feel much more confident. And don't be surprised pretty soon on a short yardage like that, they air it out.
Now Harrison will work out of the shotgun. Sometimes they'll hike it right to one of the running backs. Not this time, though. Harrison lofting it, near side, Reed's open, just off his left claw. He'd like to have that one back, too. Kyle Tobin, we talked about implementing that jumbo package. He felt that was the reason they lost to Gwynn at the Uperdome in the quarterfinals last year. So their motto this year, Rob, unfinished business. That's what they want to do. They've made a point to prove to themselves and everybody who doubted them last year, we're going to take it another step further. They have succeeded. The question is, will they wear a crown at the end of the day?
Well, it sure helps when you put a jumbo package. When you got Jumbo himself, Joe Becky at almost 300 pounds. That's the first thing you need if you're going to put in a jumbo package. You have some big bodies.
It's a jumbo play, 2nd down and 10. Harrison, plenty of time. A little too much air there, but it's caught. Far side. Great move. See you later. Whittemore-Prescott with another lead. $77 yards if it counts, but I think the he's subdued. I think he stepped out of bounds along the Schoolcraft sideline. Harrison to Walsh for 40 yards. Wide at work, Rob.
Wide at work is you got a quarterback who put the ball there, Matt. And the second reason it works is you got a receiver who makes a play on the ball. And right here, Travis Harrison gives his receiver every opportunity. Man-to-man outside. Oh, trying to get a number there, but oh yeah, he definitely stepped. What a great job by the official. But what it does is the defender also underestimated the distance on the ball.
Great camera work, guys. Buck 10 left to go in the third. Whittemore-Prescott continuing to hammer away. Reed weaving his way along the left side. Picks up 2. Can't underestimate momentum, Rob, and I think the Cardinals got it just before the break when they got that touchdown pass from Harrison to Miller, and it's carried over, I think, so far here in the third.
It has carried over, but in games like this, it's almost like you're riding a camel. It's like up and down, you're going over the camel's back because with so many players who can make plays, it seems that momentum is constantly shifting, and we're seeing that here today.
It doesn't hurt as much.
I didn't want to think about that.
I think I got a soft cushion here to sit on. Second down and 8. Harrison is being pressured. Strong arm. Caught! That was nearly picked off by Mike Melching. Instead, it found the comfort of the Whittemore-Prescott receiver, number 95, Chris Whetstone.
Travis Harrison, he's earning his money right now. Look at the pressure in his face. A well-delivered ball, almost intercepted. Melking making a play. Whetstone wanted just a little bit more, a little bit bigger. He got his paws on. Nice look right here. Look at him. Look at Melking on the break. What a nice job. Whetstone never gave up on the ball. And let's give Harrison some credit. Under pressure, deliver the ball where it needed to be.
Whetstone, 6'2", 202-pound senior tight end. Don't have a whole lot of catches, but when he makes them, they mean something. Another completion for Harrison. Big play. John Walsh picks up 2 of the big plays on this drive. A first down catch there, or close to a first down catch, and a 40-yard completion from Harrison earlier. That has set up the Cardinals in pretty good field position. They are down by 3, but threatening for more on Fox Sports Net when we start the fourth after this. There is good reason for concern on the faces of Schoolcraft supporters. They have seen the Eagles of Whittemore-Prescott score the last 10 points and currently on an 8-play, 71-yard drive with just under 3 minutes to go on this drive, looking for the go-ahead touchdown. Harrison on second down and 2. Miller won't get the first down. He is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Melching delivering the blow.
You're going to see what Whittemore was able to do here. Right here, it's an ISO. We got the clown socks in the tailback position by Miller. I just noticed those. Those like the old Crystal Falls Forest Park. But Melking, if you can't run someone over, if you're fast enough like he is, you run by him. And that's what Melching's been able to do the entire afternoon.
Whittemore-Prescott dominating through the air. Schoolcraft on the ground is pretty balanced. We talked about Crystal Falls Forest Park, a loser earlier today in the state championship showdown. You saw it right here on Fox Sports Net. Out of the shotgun, Harrison needs a first down. He's got a running lane. Now he'll fire. Picked off. Beautifully read by the free safety. Dan Fletcher with the interception. The first interception for Schoolcraft here tonight. And a big play made by the Schoolcraft D.
Well, you're going to see Travis Harrison start rolling out to the right. He's going to tell the receiver, go down the field, go down the field. And I'm going to get it to you. He does. He just doesn't throw it quite quick enough. And it allows the defensive back to come over, make the play. If it's not for a nice effort by Harrison, Fletcher might go all the way down the sidelines.
Hey, Rob, he was bird dogging that one all the way, wasn't
Yes, he was. He was baiting him a little bit.
Fletcher will split wide to the right. Zach Witkowski looking to find a groove. Takes the handoff, fires, short-armed it. Rob Thomas will do his best sell job, but the referees and linesmen and everybody out there wearing a striped suit on by him.
Rob Thomas, incomplete.
Well, Zach Witkowski, he's trying to get it done here, but he's doing it under duress, too. Right here off the play action, You see all the pressure he's getting. He's trying to get the ball. And what happens to a quarterback when you got someone in your face, it's hard to finish your stroke, your delivery. And that time Zach couldn't finish it, and the ball, as you said, he short arms it, it bounces in the ground. But let's give the defense of Whittemore some credit. Good pressure.
Do you think the Cardinals are just playing the run now and they're not afraid of Rakowski's arm now, or what? Because he is 4 of 18 for 80 yards.
Yeah, you may be right in a sense. And it looks by the passing that they're trying to do, short stuff right now for Schoolcraft. Maybe they're trying to get his confidence back a little bit, Matt. That, you know, when you put up numbers like 4 for 19 as Zach has right now. But you know what? I'm still not a believer that he's having that bad of a day because the ball seemed to be there. There was just excellent coverage by Whittemore. Obviously, a few of them could have been a little bit better, but I don't want to get Zach a little. Don't want to get on him too hard. No, I want to give some credit to the black shirts.
No, but 4 for 19, whether you have drops or not, is not what he is used to. I mean, he was 13 of 23 with some drops against Livonia Clarenceville last week, and he still picked up close to 260 yards through the air. It can change in one play, and maybe that's the play. McCullough, first down and more. Now McCullough, second on the team in catches with 26 for over 550 yards on the year. A big 3rd and 10 completion there to help the confidence of Zach Rakowski.
And look at Zach Becky trying to come in, 3 people blocking him. Did he step in and zing that ball, though? And that's what we heard about so much. And right here, let's look at the receiver. Inside receiver, drives off, clears out, outside receiver, presses the defensive back, comes back, McCullough, nice job of pressing the defender up the field. We're seeing some excellent route running by both these teams.
Nice pitch and catch. On the ground, Thomas. Trying to barrel hard, but he ran right into Scott Berriger. Berriger would ride him a little bit to the outside. Thomas would pick up a couple.
They're mixing it up pretty well right now, Coach Ludlow, even though they came out and, all right, Zach, we're going to throw a couple times. You complete one, we get a first down. We're coming back to the running game. That's what's gotten them to 20 points right now, Matt. And you don't want to desert that too much trying to get back to your quarterback and build his confidence. You got to, once you've established something, you have to sustain it.
Thomas over 100 yards on the day, over 1,000 yards on the season. He's the lone setback behind Rakowski. 4 wide receivers set, inside handoff. Thomas couldn't spin away in time.
Rob Thomas, the ball carrier.
Tackle made by Brian Arndt from the middle linebacker position. Give him 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
And Schoolcraft came up that time, Matt. They had twin receivers split wide each way, one back. They just tried to spread them out and run the draw back up inside. Whittemore had nothing to do with it. Would you call this a big play with 9 minutes and 9:30 running, 3rd down and 4?
Well, more importantly, Whittemore-Prescott needs the ball back to at least tie. They're down by 3. Let's fight the clock and the Eagles. Rakowski, 5-step drop. Firing, great catch. What an unbelievable catch by Cam Robertson. First time he's been in the ball game. Rakowski goes right to the 6-foot senior, and he comes up big.
And let's look here, right here, Zach Rakowski, 3-step drop. Cam Robertson's going to run the slant inside, and that's a big-time throw. He stuck that between the corner and the safety. Look at the authority, the zip he puts on that ball right on enough. And Robertson, as you said, turned a little bit. Nice catch. That's executed by all parties involved.
His last 2 throws are big-time throws. Thomas up the middle, right up the gut. Now the work of the clock. They got a nice drive going to Schoolcraft. They're getting shut out in the 3rd. They're looking to convert on this possession here in the 4th quarter.
And the big clock up on the board keeps on ticking away down to 8:30, and this is going to become a factor pretty soon. And especially if Schoolcraft can finish this drive with a touchdown, that's going to put a lot of heat on the Cardinals.
Schoolcraft, one of their losses to Mendon, who won the state championship a year ago. Larry Ludlow thought his club grew up after that game. Rakowski finds Thomas. Boy, that's a grown-up run for you. Sniffed out the chains. He'll make him move them again and get close to the 20-yard line of the Cardinals.
And Matt, you and I, just about 3 plays ago, we're talking a little bit about confidence, what Zach Rakowski needs, and they gave it to him with a couple good passes earlier, and now look at him throwing the ball. Oh, nice hit. Brad Reed bringing it from the secondary. Thomas, not, I don't care, hit me. That's what you're paid to do, and I'm paid to get up the field, and that's exactly what he did. Well, not literally paid.
Well, hey, listen, if you want to jitter my molars, that's all right. I'm going to bring it right back your way. Thomas has been a big play guy all day for Schoolcraft. Out of the split backfield. They're only about 2.5 yards behind their quarterback. Quick handoff. Thomas, we got a flag on the play. Been a very clean game so far, Rob. Haven't seen a whole lot of hankies flying.
And that's a good point, because I think when you get to this level in the final game of each of these divisions, the one thing I've always enjoyed is how little the flag is thrown. And that's two reasons. One, you have great officials, and two, you have great teams that don't commit a lot of penalties, and that's why they're here.
It's the first penalty against Schoolcraft, Rob. That's good discipline, isn't it? Both these clubs have very good discipline.
And that's why they're able to keep drives going. Penalties there's no bigger drive killer in any level of football than a penalty.
It's a big reason they're here, too. Let's get the call from our head referee, who is mic'd, courtesy of Fox Sports Net tonight. We do that in all the state championship games. Gives you a better feel for what's going on the field. Let's get the infraction.
Got a low block. And the offense.
Got to step back a little bit. There's Thomas, bent over, sucking some wind, but rightfully so. Look at that face. That's a face of a hard-nosed football player. See if we can pick out the penalty here, Rob Rubik.
Well, you're going to see a cut block right in the beginning. There was a little bit of a cut block below the waist, and high school football rules are much more stringent than any other level, and that is to protect the kids. And sometimes people say, well, that seems like a stupid rule. Well, you know what? If it's your child playing, you want him healthy, don't you?
First down at 25. Burkowski pumps once, fires deep. Overthrown. Great coverage out there. Brad Reed on Dan Fletcher. A lot of speed on both sides of the ball there. What a great football game, folks. These folks have been treated to one of the better ones of the day. Schoolcraft had a 6-play, 30-yard drive to lead at 6-0 early in the first. Reed and the Cardinals responded with an 11-yard touchdown run. And then it was Mike Melching from 64 yards out and 2 yards out before Harrison hooked up with Reed just before the break. And the Cardinals have added a field goal in the third. No blood drawn yet in the fourth. Schoolcraft is trying to change that on a second down at 25. Quarterback will run it. Rutkowski couldn't find anybody open, and that's a coverage sack, if you will, even though he didn't lose yardage.
We look at Zach's number. The first half, 3 for 12. Picks it up a little, 4 for 11 in the second half. Yardage pretty similar, but he's avoided the interception in the second half, and that's key, and that's why they've been able to move the ball down the field. And I don't think Zach's had the type of game we expected or that he probably wanted, Matt, but I still think he's playing at a fairly high level right now.
Yeah, well, he threw for 1,700 plus during the regular season. What I give him credit for is keeping his head up, going back out there, demanding the leadership role that he's held all season long, and keeping his team in the game. They spread it wide. 3, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, 7-step drop. Rutkowski fires, and that's knocked away. Pretty good play there. Again, the defense stepping up and wearing a crown for Whittemore-Prescott. That play made by Todd Clark, the linebacker, dropping back in coverage.
Well, Schoolcraft has shown that formation a few times. Matt, earlier they're trying to spread Whittemore out and then run it underneath. That time they stayed with the pass, Whittemore not biting at all. Only rushing 4 people with 7 back in coverage, double covering the wideouts, and there's nothing there. Zach trying to stick it in there, but good coverage by the Cardinals. 4th down, you got to wonder here, where'd you punt? The problem if you punt here, Matt, is if it goes in the end zone, it ends up being about a 13-yard net, and that, no one wants that.
2 on 4th down, Schoolcraft. Rutkowski fires deep, double coverage, and Reed wisely batted it down. Boy, that is a smart play by a senior leader of this club. A lot of guys might have picked it off for the glory. Instead, Brad Reed knocked it down, knowing darn well his offense will take over at the 34-yard line. Cardinals are down by 3. They get another crack at it with 6:24 left to go at the Dome. A lot of folks having fun at the state championships. Always fun to watch the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report. It delivers 30 minutes of sports news dedicated to what you care about. Detroit's home teams, the Regional Sports Report, tomorrow night at 11, only on Fox Sports Net. 6:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. Whittemore-Prescott, the Cardinals down by 3. Harrison delivering far side. Caught and out of bounds. Unbelievable grab for the second time today. John Walsh snares it over the defensive back, gets his feet in bounds, and the Cardinals are rolling again, a 30-yard to the good for Whittemore-Prescott.
Well, you're going to see excellent footwork here by Walsh as he's going out of bounds. Look at how he keeps his feet in. He's able to concentrate on the ball and still have good field awareness. And I love the way the Whittemore-Prescott receivers go after the ball. And that comes from Matt doing it the entire season. We heard they love to throw the fade, get man-to-man coverage, and that's where they've had most of their success in the passing game.
I give credit to Kyle Tobin. He put Walsh in for Scott Berriger. Berriger has had to do it all on special teams, offense, and defense. He's got some fresh body and John Walsh in there. And all Walsh has done is catch 3 balls for 78 yards. That time they got nothing going on the ground. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
Look at Travis Harrison, 10 for 17 in the first half, putting up some big numbers.
Good ball,
Not
man.
quite as good in the second half. They've been able to run the ball a little bit better, but well over 200 yards already. And in high school, Matt, that's a ton in the passing game. I don't care where you're at. You look at, I think it was Matt Baker from Brother Rice put up some good numbers today. Whittemore also putting up some good numbers in the passing game.
Still averaging 22 yards per completion. It's not that bad. Let's see what he does on this one. 5-step drop. Walsh again, another great catch. Looks like a face mask too. 88 in front of 88. Pat McCullough on the defensive side. That's a great catch. That's all hands right there, Rob Rubik. You got to have strong meat hooks to grab that one.
Matt Shepard, I love your knowledge of the game, and you're going to see right here. After we get to listen to the official, they're talking it over a little bit, but you're exactly right. Walsh does a nice job of attacking the ball in his hands, and this is exactly what all the Whittemore receivers do. They come back. You're going to see right here, Walsh get his hands, catches the ball. Ooh, that'll leave a mark right there. Yeah, you'll feel that tomorrow. But I tell you what, if they win,
face mask here. Offset.
but if they win, it's not going to hurt quite as much tomorrow than if they lose. Right here, look at that. Great job in the truck. Isolation, John Walsh, nice job. What concentration, not only grabbing the ball, but hanging on, Matt, after you get your neck cranked back a little bit.
They declined that penalty. Walsh with a pair of pliers out there to hold on to that one. They call the offsetting. There was a block below the waist and the face mask.
Well, that's a
So
tough
bring it
break.
over, do it
Yeah,
over,
that's a tough break because Walsh makes a great play on it. He gets punished a little bit for it, and you know what? You're doing it all over again with no more ground gained.
Larry Ledlow has to be a little concerned. Kyle Tobin concern is that it's a 2nd down and 9, but his offense is starting to groove a little bit out of the shotgun. Avoiding the rush, delivering for Walsh, just too much. I like that matchup, though. McCullough, one of the best defensive backs on this club, and Walsh, kind of the unsung wide receiver hero, if you will, for the Cards.
You know, I don't know about you, but I'm not going playing a card game with Larry Ledlow because he's got more guts than anyone I've ever seen. Right here, Harrison, once again, he's playing man-to-man, outside, 3 across, and that's all he's doing. And that shows a lot of faith in those men back there in the secondary. You know, they've been beat a few times, but overall, they haven't given up the big touchdown pass yet.
Tobin wants a timeout. Bob Shook with the pressure for Schoolcraft. Tobin needs to talk about this. This is a huge play. His team is down by 3, a 3rd and 9, staring him smack in the face at the Pontiac Silverdome when we come back on Fox Sports Net. Whittemore-Prescott outscored their opponents 527-60 during the regular season. They trailed for just 8 seconds during the season. Right now, they're down to Larry Ledlow and Schoolcraft by 3 with 5:26 left to go in the 4th quarter on a 3rd down and 9.
And this is what Coach said in a tough situation. He goes shotgun, 3-4 wide receivers, spread them out, try to get his man-to-man matchup.
Harrison, lying downfield, overthrown. Intended for Clint Miller. So he went to the guy out of the backfield.
Yeah, he did. He got the matchup he wanted, but Travis holding his head after he knew that ball just took off on him, got away a little bit. He was looking for Miller going down the sidelines after running the wheel, the out and up down the side. Nothing there. 4th down and 10. What are you going to do? This is where coaches earn their money in high school. We know how much they're paid, right? They call it 36, 37 cents an hour for all the time you put in. But I tell you what, if Coach Tobin can get this play right here, every penny will be worth it. What a tough call.
The thing you want your receivers to do, and you know this because you used to be a tight end 8 years in the NFL, get the first down. Don't run a route that falls short of the sticks. The shotgun again. This time Harrison goes one-on-one. He's got Walsh. Caught! Touchdown! On 4th and 9, 2nd lead of the ball game at the most crucial time of the ball game with 5:13 left. John Walsh's 4th catch of the day, pay dirt, and the Cardinals are on top by 3.
Right here at the bottom of your screen, he's a little hitch and go. Right there, he hitches and goes, and he's run this about 3 or 4 times. What makes the play is he runs through the ball, reaches out, doesn't break his stride, and what a patch by Travis Harrison.
Incredible.
Excellent.
Berger's extra point is a big one, and it's through. That makes it a 4-point difference. Now Schoolcraft has to score a touchdown to win.
Excellent point, and the whole extra point thing is going to come back to haunt him. Right here, a nice close-up of Travis Harrison. Look at the step back in the pocket, well-delivered ball, right on the money. Look at Walsh. Now, I'm looking at my depth chart, and he's listed as a 2nd receiver. Now, if they have 2 or 3 better than him, they should be in Division I because this kid has had a great game. Look at him catch the ball, run through some nice speed.
Matt, he wasn't even involved in this offense until the 2nd half, and all kinds of celebrations going on for John Walsh. Over 100 yards receiving on the day.
And we talked about right before the big play, a nice look at John Walsh, 4 catches, 113 in the TD. We were talking about in the clutch, Coach Tobin, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to get a man-to-man matchup, and I'm going to throw away from the safety. That's exactly what he did. There was no help on the bottom side. Walsh got the defender man-to-man, little hitch and go, big play.
Rob, it's the same formation they had on the 3rd down and 9, but this time, why did they go to the solo matchup rather than Harrison going to Miller like he did previously?
Well, they tried to get Miller on a linebacker in the previous play, but when he went down the sideline, the backer did a nice job covered. So they had their formation, twins to the right, solo to the left, like you said, man-to-man, big play Walsh.
Let's see if Schoolcraft has a big play in their bag of tricks. Whittemore-Prescott's drive lasted 1 minute and 11 seconds, 5 plays, 66 yards. Now Schoolcraft will have a chance to answer. They'll have pretty fair field position, too, after the return from Kyle Tremblay. Want to remind you that a little bit later on here on Fox Sports Net, the Pistons will take on the Vancouver Grizzlies, but right after our matchup here, it's Detroit Sports Tonight. They will break down what's going on so far here at the Pontiac Silverdome today and preview the Pistons and Vancouver Grizzlies from the Palace. That's on Fox Sports Net after this. Cardinals' first lead, as we mentioned, since early on in the first quarter. An impressive drive, one that has given them a 4-point lead.
Now we're going to find out what Zach Rakowski's really made of here, trying to take his team about 68 yards for a touchdown.
As a quarterback, you want to be a hero. Here's his chance. Rakowski firing. Ooh, that's a big drop. Intended for Pat McCullough. 2nd down and 10.
I don't think Zach Rakowski has been under an inordinate amount of pressure the 2nd half. He's setting up in the pocket, and those offensive linemen are doing a nice job letting him set his feet. The problem is they're only running 3 receiver routes, which means you go maximum protection, keeping your backs in to help protect. Okay, so you get a lot of time, but if those 3 receivers can't get open, it limits what you can do going down the field.
Whittemore-Prescott trying to finish an unbeaten season, the only unbeaten season in the school's program's history. Rakowski looking for his 8th completion, under duress, leaks it out to Melchik, cuts back, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Our spotter was my younger brother, just wrote, they're going to run a screen. I think he wants my job. I should have called him before the play, so they're going to run a screen here, and that's exactly what they did. They tried to get, they tried to get Melching right here. They're going to leak him out of here into the flat, and he's going to get behind the lineman. But what a good job by Whittemore running through. And we talked about earlier, when you're going to defend the screen, we saw Drew Hamilton do it. You got to run through the blockers. Erickson with some good pressure. There's Arndt in the play, getting up in the field. Berger right there if he doesn't make it.
Great job by the Cardinals, though, to stay in their lanes because a lot of guys might over-pursue. 5 for 13 on 3rd downs for Schoolcraft. This is the biggest of the evening for him. Rakowski pumps once, shows some arm strength into double coverage. A near catch, but McCullough couldn't hold on. I don't know if he'd have stayed in bounds anyway.
Rakowski's pass intended for number 88, Pat McCullough.
Well, with 4:01 left to go and your full complement of timeouts, what do you do now?
Okay, I want you to watch right here. Look at the big guy. You talk about getting double teamed. Let's take a count. Let's start counting the white shirts that are blocking him. There's 1, 2. Okay, let's get 3. That's like trying to hold the water back and when the dam's breaking. So a great job getting triple teamed. Becky, when he does that, I mean someone else should be getting pressure. Oh my,
down on 11.
I think they're going.
They have to. I guess. That obviously is the thinking of Larry Ledlow. out of the I formation. 1 for 3 on 4th downs is Schoolcraft. Big defensive stand by the Cardinals.
Unbelievable. What a game we got here today. There's Rob Thomas, who's left it on the field. That time making a diving effort at the ball that was out in front of him. Now guess what he gets to do? 4th down and 10. Big play. He wants to make it. Can't make the catch. Go play defense. And that's what you see when you get to the Division 6, 7, and 8. A lot of guys going both ways. We're seeing the quarterback. We talked about the big shootout going on early on. It looks to me Harrison's getting the better of it, Matt, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
Well, you're sure not going to blame or give all the credit to the quarterbacks, because the offensive and defensive lines have done their job too, but Harrison has made some big plays. Played a Miller at the end of the half. Obviously the 4th down conversion to Walsh. And again, we talked to both coaches and they said big plays are going to determine this one.
We got an illegal substitution. The man went off the field, came back on. We got a penalty for that. 5-yard penalty.
That's going to go against... Well, the referee didn't indicate who it was against. Apparently against Kyle Tobin and Whittemore-Prescott. Even with the lead, the coach still isn't happy, is he, Russ?
No, he's not. But I want to check the referee's visa, because I don't think he's from Michigan. He sounds like a little bit of a drawl to me, and he might be from way down south like Toledo or something. I think we took an import for the state finals.
Well, we talked about this on 4th down, and I asked you, what would you do? You got your full complement of timeouts, and yet Schoolcraft chose to go for it. Whittemore-Prescott shot themselves in the foot with a 5-yard setback there, but on 1st and 15, it's up to the Eagles defense to step up.
And when, if you're Coach Ledlow, do you start using your 3 timeouts? How long do you wait before you start trying to stop that clock to leave your offense as much as they can use? Now, I would like Whittemore's chances more of getting down the field with their shotgun and spread formation and Travis Harrison throwing the ball. Schoolcraft hasn't shown the same ability to be able to spread Whittemore defensively and make pass plays.
Turnovers have been key. Special teams, to a certain extent, have been key, but nothing more important so far in this ball game than big plays, and the Cardinals have made 2 of them. Schoolcraft with the melching 64-yard touchdown is a big play as well. Full house behind Harrison. He wants it all for Walsh. Got it again! What a great pass. He threw it in only the area in which John Walsh could grab it.
And what a great job by formation. Kyle Tobin has learned his lessons well coming to the Dome. What a great job of play calling. Remember before you talked about how they worked on their short yardage game? Right here, they come out in a powerhouse, full eye backfield, and he throws it on 2nd down. He's not sitting on the lead, Matt. He's going for the jugular right now, and that's exactly what he did. Man-to-man coverage out on an island. Nice job by John Walsh. Excellent, Travis Harrison.
1st down and goal from the 3. Deep handoff, just a little bit short.
Well, right now, I think if you're Whittemore, you're not unhappy that you didn't score there. They would probably like to take 2 or 3 plays before they get in the end zone to use as much time on the clock as they can.
Never in the history of this championship game at any level has any team thrown 30 passes or more. Both Schoolcraft and Whittemore-Prescott have each attempted 29 through the air. Ties a record that has taken place twice before. 2nd down and goal from the 1. I think Barrett stumbled there. Going for a second effort. Of course, all the big hosses up front are signaling touchdown.
Number 9, Scott Berger on the carry for the Cardinals.
You almost wonder here, and I know it goes against every type of logical thinking in the world, but you almost wonder if they should let him score. Let him score here, get the ball back. I know it's still going to. I know, but
10 or 11.
Okay, let's say you don't let him
hold him to a field goal here, which they do. I mean, they kick.
You're right.
I think Whittemore-Prescott would kick a field goal if they don't make it here. Then the lead is 7.
Right. Because if they do stop me, I was thinking they were down by more. They could get the ball and still have time to drive the field. I was wrong.
It's all right. We're not.
I don't say that often.
Not in Phoenix. It's a moot point. I think they just scored. No indication yet, though. Schoolcraft says they got the football. They thought they forced a turnover.
The officials are looking at each other like, you tell me. I'm not sure right now. We don't see a real spot. And I think they're talking about whether there's a fumble. They're marking about the 1-inch line.
Wow. All right, what do you do, Coach Rubik?
Harrison, the ball carrier.
You got a good field goal kicker who's a state
just short of
and
the goal
all-stater.
line by the middle of the
Right here's a
line.
nice side view. Travis Harris. Ooh, that's a headache right there. You can see his head leading through.
Just outside the goal line.
I tell you what, he might have been over the line.
Well, his body, his head and shoulders, no question, were over the line. Where the ball was, we really couldn't see.
And then Melching comes away with the loose ball. Harrison was trying to reach to put the pigskin over the stripe. He ran right up the butt of Luke Pappel and Brandon Trudell.
Nice.
Good angle.
Yeah, here's a top view.
Boy, Drew Hamilton stuffed it good.
It's close, I'll tell you that. But, you know, I'll give the referee, the officials credit. They marked on the 1-inch line. They didn't mark on the half-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that's one of two things, though. That's either a touchdown or a fumble. Because Harrison was not down, the whistle was not blown, Hamilton forced the turnover, and it was recovered by Mike Melching.
Now, right here's the biggest play of Schoolcraft's year. They got to stop him. Then they got to go about 99 yards in about a minute 20 seconds. So this is where championships are won and lost right here. Their defense has been up to the challenge so far in the first 3 downs.
You and I are offensive guys. This may sound crazy. I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd play action to Miller, let Miller hop over the top, and then roll my quarterback out and leak a tight end.
How about you got the big guy there, 300 pounds, run him through.
Right up the gut. Second effort, touchdown. Josh Bell. 6th touchdown of the season for the fullback of Whittemore-Prescott, and Schoolcraft is now down by 10.
Well, when the quarterback, Travis Harrison, sticks his ball into Josh Bell, he's not so sure he wants to give it up. Look at his hands are staying in there. He's going to rip his arms off. He's like, you got it, I got it. Okay, you can take it. Now, I wonder if he wants to try to get credit for this. You're going to see Coach Tobin on the sidelines. I think I've broken through. He also knows he's broken through, and he's been skunked here a couple of previous trips. He's probably going to get his first win.
It helps when you have a kicker like Scott Berriger, who adds the extra point to make it an 11-point difference. Whittemore-Prescott, 1 minute, 17 seconds away from a championship.
Right in the crowd, what a great guy. I don't know if you had an opportunity to talk with him before the game, and you also see what happens when you don't come out on top in high school. But those fans will be cheering just as loud for their team through the award ceremony, and rightly so.
They should.
But Coach Tobin,
right.
what a genuine guy, very fun to talk to. He's excitable. He's so proud of his kids. And remember, they talked about we are family, and we were going to talk about it a little bit today, and we're seeing that today. The overall team effort by the Cardinals.
Kyle Tobin had 2 big calls on that series. The second down call, big touchdown or a big completion to John Walsh, and the 4th and goal from the 1.
Yes, he did. And that shows you sometimes when you're here a couple times, you get shocked and you don't get it done. You say, I may not get back here again. I'm pulling out all the stops I'm going for today. And he did it, and it paid off.
Why not? Only 17 points have been scored so far in the second half. Whittemore-Prescott has all 17. Short kick fielded at the 20 and brought to about the 30. Now Schoolcraft needs to find something in their bag that'll take them 70 yards in as few plays as possible. Zach Rutkowski, a quarterback who all year long has guided this Eagles club to an opportunity to win weekend in, weekend out, who's been the leader of this football team and has been primarily responsible for getting them to where they are today. But now he stares the daunting challenge of Whittemore-Prescott's defense and an 11-point deficit. Unable to get on the board so far in the second half. Short chunk of yardage, but Clint Miller and Whittemore-Prescott will give up a little 8-yard completion.
And, you know, I want to get back to Zach Rutkowski here for a minute. Earlier they put his stats up on the board. Obviously not very impressive that, you know, we've been talking about. But let's take a minute and think, would they be here without him, Matt? Not even close. Not even close. He's been a leader. He's been the guy that's led them the entire season. He's matured. Coach is talking about how he's gotten so much better during the season. So even though he didn't have the game of his life here, or what he expected, they wouldn't be here without him.
Such a cliche to say it's too bad somebody has to lose. Obviously appropriate in this situation, and appropriate with these 2 quarterbacks as well. Rutkowski showing the strength of the arm on the right side, or left side rather, and a completion and a first down. And They stopped the clock as well after the completion of Pat McCullough.
Zach Rakowski's shown that he does have a little bit of gas left in the engine there. He took the ball that time, stepped through the short out, and I like the play design. It's getting him out of bounds. What I don't like about it, it's only about 8 yards, and Whittemore, with only a minute to go in the game, is going to let him catch the ball in front of him, you know, because they know that pretty soon it's going to be all over. And now the clock is starting. He must not have gotten out of bounds.
Guess not. McCullough's 4th catch of the 1st and 10. Another pitching catch and another completion. This time to Dan Fletcher.
Dan Fletcher's quietly had a nice game also today. But Zach Rakowski once again showing that, you know, he does have a nice arm. And I like what I'm seeing out of the Schoolcraft team. There's no quitting. They're down by 11 with 43 seconds. And you're not seeing any difference in the intensity level or the execution than we saw the entire game. And that's a tribute to the entire coaching staff of the Eagles.
Cardinal fans knowing that they are 43 seconds away from their first ever state championship. Rakowski pumps once, fires deep. No one's there. Whittemore-Prescott is made up of 3 city areas: Whittemore, Prescott, and Skidway Lake. It encompasses about 5,000 people. And they're going to rock tonight if they pick up this state championship. Rakowski continues to get hit to the turf. Brad Webster, who moved from linebacker to defensive end, did the deed there that time for the Cardinals. 2nd down and 10. 3 wide receiver set. Cam Robertson had 1 big catch earlier in this half. That time, he'd like to have it back. It went right through his fingertips. Pretty good toss by Rakowski. Half a minute to go for Kyle Tobin. This might be the toughest part as a coach. Waiting it out.
Well, you got all the excitement building up inside. You know you have this game won, and all the young men on the side. And Coach Tobin knew this was the greatest group of guys as far as team-oriented, no hot dogs, all focused on the same goal. And it's going to come to fruition here today with a win over the very tough Eagle team from Schoolcraft.
Now on 3rd and 10. Slings it, and a great catch by Dan Fletcher. I think it's short of the 1st down. Maybe short by about a yard.
Well,
Larry Ledlow's running out of time.
Well, Matt, and I know your coaching experience is about as, your coaching resume is about as long as mine. But what do you do here? I mean, your coach Ledlow, you're down 11 points, only 22 seconds to go. And it's one of those things is, you know, do I keep trying to win, or do I try to get some, maybe the seniors or juniors who didn't get on the field today into the game? And
well, not to mention this team hasn't been forced to practice this type of situation. They've rarely trailed all season long. Suddenly they're down by 11. They say, let's go into our bag of tricks, find something that might take us the rest of the way to pay dirt with under 22 seconds, and then get the ball back, and they'll say, we're not prepared for this, though.
Well, that's right. Coach Ledlow right now, in the huddle, he needs a little dirt pile. So you can get down there and start drawing in the dirt. Say, okay, now you run over here. You put a pop can.
Again, your coaching experience.
Well, yeah, you put a pop can here, you put a rock here, maybe a cleat or tennis shoe here. You say, okay, now you go down here, you cut here. It's like in your backyard. You start getting real creative, and you don't have a blackboard here, so you got to, make the best of it.
Well, a disappointing end to Rasmussen's year. November 11th. His team dedicated that win and the playoffs to him after having his spleen removed. Watching his teammates all the way through. He was there in the good times, so he'll be there in the bad as well. 4th and 1, and it's over. Rakowski couldn't complete that one, and Scott Berriger celebrates with the Cardinals and their fans. Their first championship at the state level is within their grasp. They'll have the football. 16 seconds to go, leading by 11. They have scored the game's last 24 points. So we talked about the quarterbacks, we talked about the offenses, but as Trevor Thompson mentioned at the offset, the defense really made things happen in the second half.
It's exactly what Whittemore's defense came up big. And how about adversity? We didn't know how they would handle getting behind. They came through with flying colors. They met every challenge that Schoolcraft could put up and then some.
They had 7 shutouts during the season. The defense didn't have to shut out Schoolcraft today. They did shut out the Eagles in the second half. Cardinals win it 31-20. The third state champion crown today on Fox Sports Net. The first state champion crown in Whittemore-Prescott's history. Tobin will keep that, whether it be for his trophy case or the school's trophy case remains to be seen, but he wants to hold on to that one. It is a feeling not many get an opportunity to experience. It's also a feeling not many can put into the appropriate words. We do know Whittemore-Prescott, our state champions, 31-20, behind the arm of Travis Harrison and the gut check by his offensive line. We'll wrap it up from the Dome right after this.
He had coached them well enough that they did very well.
Larry Ledlow's Schoolcraft Eagles Club, a runner-up for the second time. They were runners-up in 1994, a two-time champion, and now Kyle Tobin will walk graciously to the middle of the football field at the Pontiac Silverdome and accept the Division VI State Championship trophy.
Coach Kyle Tobin. Congratulations to the Whittemore-Prescott Cardinals, the 2000 Division VI football champions.
There's an awful lot of pride going on in that small town, or the small towns that make up Whittemore-Prescott High School. What a great feeling.
Well, Whittemore-Prescott, Skidway Lake, they're going to be partying up there to the wee hours of the morning tonight. And Coach Tobin, you feel for a guy, he's kind of like the Buffalo Bills of high school football here for a while. This is his third time. He finally gets his first win, and couldn't have happened to a nicer, more well-deserving gentleman than Coach Tobin, who puts in so much time and cares so much for the young men that play for him.
All right, Trevor Thompson is with the victorious head coach Kyle Tobin.
Coach Tobin, I got to ask you, how does it feel, your first ever state championship?
Well, I feel really good for the kids. They really worked hard. We've been working hard in the weight room since last November for this moment, and I'm really happy for them, and I'm happy for our coaches, and they earned it. Schoolcraft's got a great team. They sure have nothing to be ashamed of. That was a fine high school football game.
Your offense put up 17 second-half points. Your defense shut them out in the second half. What was the big difference?
Well, we made some good adjustments at halftime to get, I told you we had to get that blocking scheme a little bit better, so we went 3 wide in our shotgun and got some isolations, and 88 really stepped up and had a great game. John Walsh, he's a senior, and he stepped up and really played hard and made the big plays for us.
He wasn't the only one. Talk about the play of your quarterback.
Well, Travis Harrison threw the ball really well. He's a senior too, and I'm going to miss those guys, and they did a great job today. We're really happy.
Well, they're leaving with sweet memories, that's for sure.
Yes, sir, they are.
Let's go back upstairs to Matt and Rob.
Wow, what a feeling. I wish I could know and have an opportunity to describe what Kyle Tobin and what his Cardinal team is experiencing. You saw the emotion, some of them crying, a lot of them hugging, a lot of them know this is the end of a long road that had a lot of hard work and hard days.
And you're exactly right. A lot of these young men that he may not see for a few years are going to go off, who knows, in military to college, what they're going to do, where their life path is going to take them. But you leave it on the field with them. This is something you shared that you will have together for the rest of your lives.
They've done something that no other team in the history of that program has been able to do, and Travis Harrison was right in the middle of it, and he's now with Trevor Thompson.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Travis, 209 yards in the air today. Talk about that. That's a state record. It's an all-championship record. How do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't expect that. I mean, my receivers just made great catches. He made some great catches. Clint at the end of the half made a great catch. I mean, we wanted the state championship so bad, and these guys came out and make plays and make
it up.
Now, you made 2 big plays on 4th downs when you needed them most. Well, how did you come through in those clutch situations?
I just thought to myself, this is the last football game I'll ever play in my life. So I thought, we have to win. We wanted this so bad for the last 4 years. We just had to score.
This is first down. This is a guy that you hit for one of those touchdowns. Yeah. Step in over here, John. Talk about that touchdown, how it felt to get the ball in the end zone, knowing that, hey, that might have salted away a big championship victory.
Oh my God, I've never felt better in my life. I was just assured that we had it won once I scored that touchdown. We worked so hard for it. It felt so great to get that touchdown. I'm glad I could help the team.
So now you're leaving as a senior with a state championship. What's that going to feel like for you?
It's sad to leave. I wish I could come back and play again, but I'm glad that we went out winners. We deserve it. We did good.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Matt, let's go back up to you.
Trevor, thank you. No one will ever be able to take it away from Travis Harrison and from John Walsh. John Walsh, all 5 of those catches, all 140-plus yards in the touchdown coming in the second half. Harrison, 290 yards through the air. Just an incredible display of really their ability to run it and pass it. But it was the passing game and the stifling defense in the second half that allowed the Cardinals to pick up their first ever state championship. We wrap it up in the Dome when we come back right after this. An unbelievable day of high school state football championships. Whittemore-Prescott, the 3rd champion crown today here at the Pontiac Silverdome. Division 6 crown wearers, and I think we had the best one, Robin. It started early on, didn't it?
Well, we must have done something right to get this type of game today, because what a tremendous game. You can look right here, the first one scoring up and over by the big fullback Thomas. Now Whittemore-Prescott's going to answer a little bit. The underneath counter, Brad Reed finding the end zone. So good job back and forth early on. Zach Rakowski on the draw to Melching. He shows the breakaway speed. That's helped get them here this year. A nice job of Melching going the distance. Not to be done yet, though, in the first half. Schoolcraft's going to come back again. Melching on a little dive inside. And then the 2-point conversion back to Thomas, leaking out of the power formation. Good mix-up in the play calling. Now Whittemore never gave up, never got out of the game. Right there, Miller making the catch, diving in zone right before the half. That really set the tempo for the second half. Berger with a big leg, kicking the field goal. There's Walsh, there's the nail that, really sealed the coffin for the Eagles. And then Josh Bell really putting the icing on the cake.
If you wanted offense and you missed this game, you did yourself a disservice. 374 total yards for Whittemore-Prescott, 357 to Schoolcraft. Well, I tell you what, we congratulate both these programs. An outstanding football game. We have 4 more games coming for you right here on Fox Sports Net. Tomorrow it starts at 10 a.m. with a Division 7 game between Iron Mountain and Gobles. Now for Rob Rubik, Trevor Thompson, and our entire Fox Sports Net crew, my name is Matt Shepard saying so long from the Dome. Once again, the final score in Division 6, Whittemore-Prescott 31, Schoolcraft 20. You've been watching high school football action on Fox Sports Net. The Detroit Pistons battling the Vancouver Grizzlies with Fred McLeod and Greg Kelser is coming your way next.
Yeah,